One. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Golden Bear Stadium for tonight's Senior Parent Recognition Night as your Bryan Golden Bears host the Apaches of Fairview. Last year, I thought this was going to be the highest scoring game that I had ever called in my life, and then we went to West Holmes for the playoff and ended up being 70-50. These two teams lit the scoreboard up last year in Fairview, and Fairview's going to want to do the same thing tonight.
They sure are. They want to definitely get Bryan in a track meet tonight, go up and down the field. They're going to throw the ball out. That's no surprise there. If Fairview wants to throw some more, averaging over 40 passes or 40 pass attempts a game. Expect a lot more of that tonight from the Apaches.
They're going to spread it out and try to spread us out and try to get the ball all over the field. It is the Oberlin-Turnbull countdown to kickoff. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused. We had the chance to chat with Bryan head coach Scott Staten, and you'll hear that after this timeout on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Nobody likes an awkward silence. You can actually use it for something good.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome to Inside the Bears Den. Dave Brobston, Coach Staten. Here we go again. Week 3's already here.
Yeah.
So last week, big plays bit us and bit us hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, kind of similar to what we've seen in the first round, the first game against Van Wert. I think it goes back to offense not capitalizing. We had opportunities. We saw it Saturday. We saw Friday night happen and unfold early in the game. We saw the same thing on Saturday. We had a situation where we had no safety in the middle of the field. They're daring us to pass the ball. We're behind them, and we miss a ball in the middle of the field right over the fingertips of the receiver. On our first drive. So that, to me, we're like we talked about all along, we're young, we're immature when it comes to game experience, and a play like that changes everything because momentum, scoring first, all of those things would definitely work in our favor.
It does. And when you're looking with an inexperienced team and a very young team, not just to mention, it's not like you've got a bunch of seniors who have worked their way through the program. You got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores out there. And it's real easy for that emotion to swing, and mistakes weigh hard on a young man's mind. And then they get afraid not to make a mistake again, and then it does. It just gets into that snowball effect. But once again, I thought that along the offensive line we did okay. I don't think that you've had a game plan in either of the two games where you had Cade throwing as much as he's had to.
Right.
And so it'd be nice to be able to see us get into that rhythm of that offensive flow and have things go as scripted, so that you can get the various running attack going, get Cade free, get Damian free, let Carter do some running, and get all of that going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with our offense is just getting a good flow going, and that always starts with the running game. Like, we just need to come out and control the line of scrimmage. We knew Maumee was much improved defensively. We had talked about that. They have really good athletes on the back end, and their front four, they're solid. They've played for 3 years now, most of those guys, some of them 4. So they're very athletic up front, and they're big. But I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage early on in the game. We gave ourselves some opportunities. We hit the edges, and then they basically packed everybody in the box and dared us to throw. And that's where we have to be able to either adjust our formations to bring extra guys in the box, or we have to be able to hit those passes when they're running cover zero and nobody's in the middle of the field.
Speaking of Carter and Damian, Damian got a little nicked up the first week. He looked okay last week. Carter went off a little nicked up, similar type of tackle, a little nicked up. He doing okay?
Yeah, I think both of them. Carter's good. He's practiced all week. And again, we're just trying to, find some bread and butter plays on offense. We're trying to find our niche on offense still as the season goes on. And that's the thing with having a young team. You don't really know what you have until you get the pads on, until you start scrimmaging. So this is all fluid right now. We're moving through each week. We're trying to find new things that work. We're trying to get Carter the ball. I think he's played really hard, and he's played really well for us. He's being a good leader as a senior. He's caught the ball. He's ran the ball. We've done a lot of different things with him. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to try to be as creative as possible with what we have to try to give ourselves the matchups that we want.
Well, and it's also it's a fun style of football, and seeing fun style of football with guys moving around, playing different positions on the field, doing different things, that's a pretty nice hook for, like we've talked about from the very beginning, building a program, not just a team. That's a really nice way these 8th graders, these 7th graders go, hey, I want to be a part of that because that's fun. Coaches want to find places for us to show our strengths. And that's always a really good thing. But good to know that folks are pretty much healthy.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same rotation this week as you saw last week, you think?
Yeah, I think for the most part. Again, we're gonna move some guys around to some different spots. And we may see some new faces here and there. Some younger guys are learning very quickly, and they're working their way onto the varsity field. A guy like Hunter Watson is just a tireless worker. Like, he shows up every single day. He's got great work ethic. He shows up. He works hard. He didn't miss a single day through the winter. He spent a ton of time, just like a lot of those were 8th graders at the time, now freshmen. They spent the entire winter with me in the mornings. And those kids don't know anything any other way. So you're seeing them progress very quickly in practice to where they are moving very quickly to being varsity ready. So there's going to be some spots where some of those guys are going to get to jump in.
One of the things I saw Friday night that was probably the most impressive part for me as an old coach of the game is Hunter Watson whiffed on a tackle, just absolutely whiffed. And he walked off the field with his head down, which is to be expected. The next time he had that opportunity, he broke down, he sized his guy up, he went for the thighs and brought him down. And I'm like, you know what? That's what these kids need is, he knew he made a mistake. No one had to tell him he made a mistake, but he corrected the mistake. And the next time he had that opportunity in the same game, he showed that he was learning from his mistakes. And I think as a coach, that's all you can ask for from a kid.
Yeah. I mean, I looked to the play where they I think they ran a bubble to their sideline, and the kid broke it down the sideline, and Hunter came from across the field, and he tackled the kid at the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
He had a good angle, and he hustled all the way through there, made a play, didn't care that it was going to be on the 3-yard line, didn't already assume the kid was going to score. And that's what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build that relentless effort to come across, to never give up on a play, to fight for every inch on the field. And we highlighted that on film on Saturday. And that's what we need to become. It needs to become contagious around here, where every guy is giving maximum effort, paying attention to the details on every single play.
Every single play. That brings us to Fairview this week. Again, another much improved team. Took Wassee on pretty handily in the opening week. A little bit of a rougher time with a bigger Delta team last week. What do you look for from the Apaches other than they're going to spread it out and throw it all night?
Right, yeah. I mean, that's what you're expecting to see. I mean, if you look at the Delta game, they came out in quads right out of the gate, and they're just picking apart all the way down the field. And Delta, like you said, Delta is a much improved team. They're fundamentally sound. They're physical up front. And they want to hit. So that was their game plan against Fairview, is the bend but don't break defense. They kept Fairview in front of them for the most part, and they put a stick on them every time they caught the ball. And Fairview wants to just spread you out, like you said, find holes in your zones, get the ball to them, and let their athletes make plays. So it's going to be very important for our defense to stay fundamentally sound and come up and make good open field tackles.
Yeah, and it's one of the things with Fairview that I saw last year, the little bit of momentum change was when we were able to get pressure with 4 and didn't have to bring different looks to Zedite, so we could drop into that umbrella and do what Delta did. Keep them in front of you, make your tackles in the open field. But, Fairview played with us, pretty much play for play last year until the front 4 started to get a little bit of pressure in the second half.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be key for our defensive line to get pressure. A kid like Connor Hogan who, when he's unblockable. That's who he's got to be this week. He's got to be a relentless motor up there. And that's a kid that's never going to come off the field. He's going to play every single snap at right tackle. He's going to play every single snap pretty much at defensive line. And he's a tireless worker, and he's a tough kid. We need him to play like that on Friday night. We're asking him to get pressure. And again, with the Zedite kid, it's not just about getting pressure. You got to stay in your rush lanes.
Yeah.
You got to make sure he doesn't spill to the outside. You got to watch for the quarterback draw. So there's a lot of weapons that they have offensively.
Yeah, watching Zedite last year, the composure he had as a freshman quarterback, I was not expecting that walking into the press box in Fairview and looking at him down there. It was his team, and he knew what he wanted to do, but he does have that escapability. So, again, you've talked about it. We've talked about it for 3 weeks. Discipline.
Yeah.
You got to go hard, but you've also got to know your assignment.
Absolutely. I mean, it comes down to details. That's what we preach every day. And it's on the field details, but off the field details of watching film, studying your scouting report, being to practice on time, hustling to drills, back and forth, those type of things all add up. And that's what we are preaching day in and day out. It's like the little details of being behind the line, running your sprints hard, all that stuff materializes in the game when you're trying to make sure that you have the correct read and you're making an open field tackle and you're making a catch. All that focus and discipline are things that they have to happen in every aspect of our program.
And it's one of the things that I think as the season goes along, as a coach, you want to see that grow and just every week get a little bit better. And, from a fan standpoint, is every week just watching the team improve. When the results on the scoreboard are what you want, seeing a team that is improved mentally and with their discipline, that's where the reward comes when the score's not quite what you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's back to what we said about that play by Hunter Watson. It's now he made that play. Can we get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys making plays like that throughout the game and just build off of that? And that's what we're trying to do. Put that foundation in there where the hard work, the discipline starts paying off on Friday night.
And that's what it's all about, is get it to finally pay off on a Friday night. Thanks, Coach. Again, this has been Inside the Bears Den. Dave Brobston, Coach Staten. We'll be back after word from our sponsors on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium as we get ready for senior night here. Last meeting, again, I said I thought this was going to be the biggest scoring game that Chris and I called 67-46, a Golden Bear win at Fairview. Then we went on to West Holmes and lost 70-50 and, 2 basketball games. Tonight, you've got teams that are in 2 different places. The Golden Bear team this year looks a lot like Fairview last year. We've got 4 or 5 freshmen starting now, an injury that we just learned about here in warm-ups. Cody Schaefer's out tonight, so that means that we are going to have stepping in at linebacker for the Golden Bears tonight 2 freshmen. Caden Ross is going to be playing. Lucas Reed's going to be playing. That's going to be 4 freshmen starting in our back 7 on defense.
Yeah, and Fairview's going to test that back 7, right? It's going to be key for them for our back 7 and our DBs and linebackers to defend and tackle in space tonight. That's going to be huge for the Bears if they want to have success tonight. Also for the Bears, they won the toss and they're going to elect to receive the ball, which I think part of that strategy is take the air and keep the ball. Play a little bit of keep away tonight. Keep the ball out of that potent Fairview offense, keep it out of their hands. If Bryan can sustain drives, and I think the key for Bryan tonight, and we'll touch on this in the keys to the game, is if you limit to Fairview to less than 8 possessions,
yes,
I think the Bears have a chance at pulling an upset tonight.
I do too. And for those of you that are not real familiar with GMC football, this Fairview team has been on their out of conference schedule is all NWAL teams, and they absolutely destroyed Wauseon week 1, just blew the Indians off the field, and then almost came back and upset Delta last week. And this Delta team that we're going to see next week, they're not your grandpa's Delta. This is a good ball team over in Delta.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Delta's much improved, similar to how Maumee has kind of been building. Now you got Coach Vickers back there over at Delta, and that's a kind of a different program. Kind of inherited a good class, junior senior class there over at Delta. So that's a tough loss for the Fairview team, but a good measuring stick for them. And a good Delta program. So they kind of have maybe some revenge on their minds tonight. A little bit of sour taste from last week. Revenge for the last 3 years. I think we've won 3 in a row in this series now. Right. So Fairview wants to come in and get a W tonight, and we'll see if Bryan can stop him.
And that's going to be the thing for this Golden Bear team. We move into back on the road. We move into NWOAL schedule next week with Delta, and so as Fairview moves into the GMC schedule, and Fairview's favored to win the GMC this year, and they made a heck of a run last year, ended up being 5-5 on the year, barely missing out on the playoffs. We are going to flex things down to the field as we honor our seniors and their parents. So if you stick with us, it's senior night here in Bryan.
Pride, and support they offer their children involved in interscholastic athletic competition and marching band. Without your help, parents, these programs would fail to achieve all that is possible for our students and your child. Thanks to each of you for your support. Now, for the introduction of our 2024 Senior Golden Bears and their parents. Senior football players and their parents are Carter Dominic, escorted by Amy and Ben Dominic. Caden Oberlin, escorted by Shelley Oberlin and Jared Downing. Kate Spisak and cheerleader Chloe Spisak, escorted by Chris and Tara Spisak. Hudson Wheeler, escorted by Bruce and Abby Wheeler. Damian Wolf, escorted by Tabitha and Brandon Wolf.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we had it with because we're using the handheld.
And now for our senior cheerleaders and their parents. Lily Sampson, escorted by Jay Sampson and Brad Sampson. Allie Six, escorted by Marcy Six and Mikhail Six. Senior band members and their parents. Brayden Hancock, escorted by Tara Boscatter and Brandon Hancock. Shaylee Kozier, escorted by Justin and Brad Kozier. Gabriel Ledyard, escorted by Nolan Ledyard and Casey Ledyard. Samantha Ryan, escorted by Mitch and Angel Ryan. Senior members of boys golf, Landon Bassett, escorted by Chad and Kim Bassett. Drew Engstrom, escorted by Jamie Morgan and Tyson Engstrom. Braden Hall, escorted by Jeremy and Megan Hall. Now for our senior members of the boys soccer team. Elijah Braun,
Man, that's only
escorted by Amanda
we wore that to
Phillips
school,
Braun.
buddy. I mean, we had a thing called halfback pants. Halfback pants. They were football pants that were cut off of shorts.
Dom Malanga, escorted by Chris and Nikki Malanga.
And you know what? We wore those all the time. Girls in there. That's men were men in shorts.
Hunter Bufeld, escorted by Ryan and Tasha Bufeld. Mason Willing, escorted by Amy Willing.
What are you? He walked in the woods.
And now for our senior member of girls
And I was
soccer.
like,
Casey
right,
Burton,
Woody? He's like,
escorted by
no, if you're going to let her perk her hair, dude, you
and
can perk
Michael
anytime. I'm good with that. See, I don't want to know what the 80 other times were.
Next is our senior members of girls tennis. Lily Cox, escorted by Karen and Chris Cox. Caitlin DeWitt, escorted by Edward and Crystal DeWitt. Ava Lambert, escorted by Carla and Will Lambert. Lucille Bashaw, escorted by Sarah and Kurt Bashaw. And now for our senior members of the volleyball team. Mary Blue, escorted by Henry Sykes and Mike Blue. Caitlin Dempsey, escorted by Janisha Kerr and Joe Dempsey. Mackenzie Mason, escorted by Brittany Osoname. And finally, Kinsey Worth, escorted by Faith Supple and Timothy Worth.
Take a break, then we'll come right back and we're going to keep the game and all that stuff. another round. That's all they said, one round. You got to bring back some 80s just attitude. That'll help us all. Done.
Rooting on the Golden Bears is a tradition that brings us all together.
Just like the sports we love, another tradition has stood the test of time. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, since 1922, we've been part of the community, supporting you in the moments of celebration and loss.
Just like a team, we understand the value of traditions and the love that binds us together.
So whether it's cheering for a win or celebrating a life well lived, remember we are here for you.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Just had senior night here, recognizing senior athletes, band members, and their parents. A special thanks to everybody. You know, for those of us who've had kids go through school, you realize it's a pretty big commitment. It's a nice time when the kids actually get their keys to their own car, so you're not running back and forth to practice and all that stuff. So a special thank you to all those parents and all those athletes. Sponsors tonight, we want to give a big thank you to all of our sponsors here tonight. The Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andres O'Neill and Lowe, the Daniel Van Atta Agency, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and the Thiel Supply Company, sponsoring us all year long here on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Thank you to your sponsorship. And if you're looking to sponsor, feel free. We're open for sponsors all the time. Looking tonight, the Carlin Company Realty and Auctioneers, your hometown real estate company for over 45 years, constantly remain number one in Williams County and the surrounding areas since 2007. Give us a call for all your real estate needs. Our Keys to the Game is sponsored by the Carlin Company. Let's take a look at the Apaches tonight, partner.
Yeah, all right. So for the Apaches tonight, they got to try to make Bryan one-dimensional here. Okay, they want to try to make it get the ball out of the running back's hands, make Cade Carlin and the Bryan passing game beat them. If Bryan's throwing the ball 20, 30 times tonight, I'm not sure that's a recipe for success for the Bears. So if they take away the running game, get 7, 8 guys in the box and are able to stop the Bears' running game, that's a key for the Apaches tonight. Their inside linebackers need to shed blocks, get off blocks, and again stop that running game. And then, of course, giving Z-Dyke time to throw. If he's got time to throw, he's going to hit his men and get them in space and let them make plays.
And he can run. He's also their leading rusher, but you're much more worried about him beating you downfield than you are with his legs. It's not like in watching Lamar Jackson last night.
Right.
You know, he's a kid that he runs when he has to. He's got a few design plays to him to run, runs a pretty effective quarterback draw. But when you look and you see a quarterback that's leading your team in rushing and also throws the ball as much, as a Bryan fan, you think of Jace last year, you know, with a lot of read options and things like that. Not really a part of the Fairview offense.
Right.
He runs when he has to, and he runs sometimes when it's designed. For the Golden Bears tonight to break this 0-2 skid to start the season, what are the home team need to do?
On the flip side, Bryan has to establish the running game. I think you see that's why, again, we touched on it earlier, why Bryan's going to take the ball first. They want to establish the run, go on long, sustained drives, and how are they going to do that? Through the running game. I expect a steady dose of Damian Wolf tonight, and if he touches the ball 15, 20, 30 times tonight, that's going to be a good sign for the Bears. We can't allow the big play. The big play bugaboo has been, we've been bit by the big play bug 2 weeks in a row. You got to keep everything in front of you, make tackles in space, okay? That's our third key. You got to tackle in space, and you got to make plays in the open field, and if the Bears can keep everything in front of them and not allow that big play, that's going to be key to make Fairview go, not 5 plays, 8, 10, 12 play drives, make them earn it. That's going to shorten this ball game and keep the Bears in it. Because you don't want to have to devote, you don't want to have to devote resources from your back end to get after the quarterback. So as long as we're making plays in space, it's going to be a good thing.
It's what I was going to say is, my addition to that, as I've thought about it a little bit more this week, is if we can get pressure with 4, which is what Delta was able to do. Delta was able to get pressure with their front 4, which meant they could drop the back 7 into an umbrella, didn't let anything behind them, made their tackles in space, and it really frustrated this Fairview team for about 3 quarters. And, if Bryan can do that tonight, we know the recipe, but there's times where you turn on the Cooking Network or the Food Network and you watch Bobby Flay and you're like, I can do that. Doesn't come out anything like Bobby Flay. So we can know the recipe, but we still got to be able to execute it. And I think that's going to be a key tonight. And it's going to be a key for Bryan all year. We're not the only team that gets tape on other teams.
Yep.
Other teams know that we have a propensity to give up the big play and we get beat deep. And I think we're going to see Fairview try that early on here tonight.
Absolutely.
Our officials tonight, sponsored by the Tri-State Vision Center, have been serving the area since 1977. Contact us at either our Bryan or Montpelier offices for all your eye care needs. A change to our officiating crew here tonight. Terry Knebel is going to be our referee. Will Bisbee, the umpire. Michael Chandler, the back judge. David McPherson, the head judge. And Van Hug will be the line judge. So there's our team here for tonight in the stripes. Hopefully they have a short night. I talked about in some of the preseason stuff, one of the emphasis this year is going to be tackles on the line of scrimmage. We'll see if they watched the game last night, because the Ravens were called 5 times for illegal procedure for having a tackle and the rule is their head has to be front of the waistline of the center. Mm-hmm. And so they called it 5 times last night. We haven't seen it called in the first couple of weeks, but I wonder if all these officials stayed home like I did last night and watched the game and went, oh, they're calling that now, and that is a point of emphasis in high school as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, they might have had to stay up till 12:30 to catch the end of that ball game.
It was a late one last night.
But yeah, no, that is an emphasis, a point of focus. So we'll see if that's something they call tonight or not, and if anyone's in violation of that rule. So we'll find out tonight.
Bryan last week was purple and purple with their yellow domes. This week they are purple over gold with their yellow helmets. Fairview in their ice whites with their black helmets tonight. Bryan will be starting out going right to left, and Fairview will be kicking off. One of the things to look for from this Fairview team is they don't have booming legs kicking off. They're going to squib it, and don't be a bit surprised if they come out and try to go onside early. They did last week.
We might see it from the jump here, catch Bryan off guard. That's where if you know that they don't have a booming leg like we saw last week, that your front line guys, you always got to be ready. We were talking actually off air last week about how if you see guys turn around, what do? You try to hit them in the back.
Yeah,
kick it right at them because they're turning so early. So Bryan front line has to be ready tonight.
But
for a
back in
kick.
the day, we were talking about it last week. Back in the day, we had a foreign exchange student at our high school, and he would look at our coach and go, "Who do you want me to hit?" And our coach would go, "The first one that turns around." Then Diego would run up to the line and just drill some guy in the back, and we knew where it was going. It was an easy onside kick.
Yep.
Let's take one away for our last break of the pregame. This has been the Oberlin-Turnbull Countdown to Kickoff. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused. We'll be right back with this word from our sponsors for tonight's national anthem.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
We live in a country with freedoms like no other. We ask you to remove your hat. Please stand and join the Bryan Marching Band, the athletes and coaches as we honor our great country, the singing and playing of our national anthem.
National Anthem caught us all a little bit by surprise when we came back there, partner. Tonight's National Anthem was brought to you by Veteran Services of Williams County. Taking a look at tonight's starting lineups for the Golden Bears, who will start the night on offense across the front, will be the same five we've seen all season long. Logan Carter, the senior, Cade Spizak, Jamison Longoria snapping the ball, Lucas Reed, the freshman, at right guard, and Connor Hogan, the anchor on the right side at tackle. Cade Carlin will be behind center, calling the numbers for most of the game. We will see some Carter Dominic back there as the game goes on. Damian Wolf will start in the backfield. Our receivers tonight, Anthony Weber, Hudson Wheeler, Carter Dominic, and the one change is Aiden Wallace is going to sit. Easton Kerr, a 5'9", 160-pound freshman, is going to get the start as the fourth receiver tonight. Look for a lot of Jacob Duran, look for a little bit of Hunter Watson, look for some Aiden Wallace, look for some Caden Ross, and Carter Sickle at running back, especially without Cody Schaefer, who comes in and gives a spell at tight end and can spell also at running back. Without Cody tonight, they're going to have to have some moving pieces in there on offense. For the Apaches, a 3-4 defense, something you don't see a whole lot in high school. Austin Gates, Cole McSuits, what a cool name. Cash King, another cool name across the front line for the Apaches. Gavin Mead, Brett Grind, 22 tackles on the season at the left side linebackers. Gavin Garza has 19 tackles, and Brody Williams are your linebackers on the right side. John Huffman, Logan Ollinger, Jesse Kuhlman, and William Zedike will start at the corners. Time for the kickoff, teeing the ball up. I'm looking to see what I believe it's Landon Vandermark or Vandermeek is your kicker. Landrick Vandermeek is your kicker. Number 61. Almost looks like old school stuff from back in the day where you had the little square toe and your lineman.
Oh, yeah. I would say we had a kicker had to change shoes my senior year, you know.
Yep.
The boot. Bring out the boot.
In junior high, our kickoff guy wore number 78. He was a 300-pound lineman, and he had the big square toe shoe. Line up the kick. End over end. Deep kick. Got all of it. Going to let it go into the end zone. We were talking about not having much of a leg. That was a good boot.
That was a great boot. I mean, I wouldn't say wind aided. I mean, we got the wind going in that direction, but so Bryan playing against the wind here. We'll have it in the second quarter, which I think is actually good for the Bears. But yeah, that was a boot there.
That was, and for us, the second quarter has been brutal so far this season. So tonight, escaping the first half, I think, is a huge victory for the Golden Bears. If we could escape the first half and not be down by 3 or 4 scores, it'll put us in the right place for tonight. You got slot to the far side of the field, one receiver down here this way, tight end to the right, and it's going to be Damian Wolf. We saw it's going to be a big dose of Damian tonight. He gets 5 on the first carry, goes right up the middle.
Number 44, Wolf on the run.
And that's a great start there for the Bears. I know it's 5 yards, one play. But you can consistently get 3, 4, 5 yards. I'll say 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's going to be a recipe for success for the Bears tonight.
Brett Grind on the tackle for the Apaches. Ball stays right in the middle of the field on the 25. Second down, 5 to go. Wolf this time behind Carlin. Going to fake, rolls to his right, looks out into the flat, just a little bit out of Carter Dominic's reach. Good coverage that time by Brody Williams. Carter couldn't really get separation. If we can get the run game going, Cade's going to be most effective. Last year we had Jace. The read option was his bread and butter. Cade's going to be most effective with play action, freezing those linebackers, because he's had to drop back to pass more than anybody's wanted him to this year.
For sure.
And a lot of times he's been running for his life. So if we establish the run game, that opens up more parts of our passing game. Another big run up the middle for Wolf, and it's going to be enough for a first down. 6 yards, 7 yards on the carry. Just what we want to see here, partner. First down 10, ball out over the 30 to the 32-yard line.
I say good to see through the first 3 plays here. The line's moving people off the ball, 5, 7 yards here and there. Again, that's going to be great for the Bears tonight to sustain this.
And if Bryan can do that, if they can give Damian a couple yards of space to get up ahead of steam, he's going to be good for 4, 5, 6 yards of carry all night long. Once again, he's coming this way. This time has to cut back up the field. out over the 35 to the 37. Took a little bit of nothing and turned it into 5.
He sure did. That was just a good hard run. The defender got upfield. He was able to cut underneath and make a nice gain out of that run.
Something we don't see very often that time. Kate Spizak got pushed back into the backfield. But Damien was able to cut off his back and cut it upfield. Got another gain of 5. 3 carries, 17 yards for Wolf here to start this one.
We're going to see Carter Dominic line up at quarterback here.
This is the Hulk smash package. We heard this, hoping it was going to come. He's going to give it to Wolf, try to go to the right side. He's going to get swallowed up for a loss of 2. Did I see a flag come in late?
I think I did. Might have got him up right around the face mask.
There is a flag on the field on the far side, and it's going to be a face mask. Looks like it's going to be a 5-yarder. I didn't see the personal foul come in. Face mask, we'll take it. 2-yard loss turns into a 3-yard gain, and we get the repeat of the second down. Officials talking about how to mark it off. Some things have changed. And for fans who think the officials don't know what they're doing, some things have changed. There are things that used to be spot fouls that now get measured from the line of scrimmage. We ran into it last year with holding.
Yep.
And this is a spot foul. They were just making sure with each other that was a spot foul. So we end up picking up 3 on the 2-yard loss on the run with the penalty, and it makes it second down, 2 to go. Clock running inside 10 minutes on your main stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Once again, Dominic out, throws, and that's a lateral. That is a live football, scooped, knocked out of bounds. Brian's going to keep it. They're calling it incomplete. I think we may have gotten a break there.
I would say Bears very fortunate there. One, that Fairview didn't jump on that, or that was called, a lateral, because I think that one was going backwards, partner.
And there's, again, some confusion. They're calling it incomplete. The ball's going to go to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2. That sure looked like it came out backwards to me, so we will take an 0 for 1 for Carter Dominic passing and not a minus 7-yard fumble. Carlin back in at quarterback now. Carter back at his H-back position. You've got a slot to the far side of the field. We've got jump both ways. They're calling the false start on us. And see, that's one of those that high school hasn't caught up with the pros. We jump because of simulation by the defense.
Yep.
And in the pros and in college, that's going to be 5 yards the other way for an encroachment penalty. In high school, it's a motion penalty when your lineman jumps. Going to get Bryan where they don't want to be. 3rd down 7.
And you know what? Here, it's 3rd and 7. Maybe not the ideal spot on the field, nor the down and distance. I'd run it here. Fairview's maybe thinking pass. Try to sneak a run past them here.
Walking their linebackers up. And they're going to. It's going to be Wolf coming this way. Finds a crease. Out over the 40. Stumbles forward. It's going to be enough for a first down. Nice little run. Good play call, partner.
I don't know if they trust me calling plays, but, I'll call plays all day, from a broadcaster.
If you want to move to the booth next door, another first down for the Golden Bears. Moving the ball, and more importantly, moving the clock.
Yeah, moving the clock, moving the ball, and moving the ball with multiple guys in the box, okay? You look at the Fairview defense right now, there's not a guy that's not within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage, save for the free safety. Everyone's within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage here, so they're stacking the box, and the Bryan offense is still moving the football.
Going slots each way this time, leaving it to Wolf, and it's going to be Carter Dominic. He's coming this way with a head of steam. Inside Fairview territory, close to another first down. Going to be a gain of 9 on the play for Carter. Then again, for folks at home, seeing Carter at quarterback, that is the Hulk smash package. And it truly came about by accident when Cade Carlin went down with cramps in the first game, and you put Carter in there to run 3 quarterback keepers, and coach was like, he's running kind of angry. We're going to use that. He was just tearing it up. That's a big man to get a full head of speed coming at you. H-back Dominic coming this way. Slot to the far side of the field. It's going to be Wolf up the middle. Met head on. Spins off tackle. Drives the pile forward. Rugby scrum inside the 45 to the 44. Another first down Golden Bears.
And that's the thing you get with Damian Wolf there. You'll see, I don't know if we get the replay here or not, but he was met in the backfield. It was either stymied for a 1-yard loss or right at the line of scrimmage and fought forward for a tough 3 yards.
And another first down, and the clock keeps moving. The main stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Coming up on 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Bryan moving the ball, their third first down, inside Fairview territory at the 44. Ball on the near side of the field. Slot to this side, one receiver out wide to the right by himself. Another Damian Wolf up the middle. This time he gets wrapped up and wrestled down. They're going to give him about 2, it looks like. Garza on the tackle, their second leading tackler on the year for them. One of their middle linebackers. They're led by their 2 middle linebackers, Brett Grine and Gavin Garza. 22 tackles and 19 tackles coming into tonight. They're going to give him a gain of 1 on the play. Second down, 9 to go. Ball at the 43. Clock inside 7.5, 7:22 to go here in the first quarter. Back to the Hulk smash package. But this time you've got Cade Carlin in slot receiver. Carter's going to go. Now there's going to be a flag. This one's going to come back. He's going to get about 5, but I think we're going to get a hold.
I think we sure are, partner. That's definitely in the area of holding.
And there is a hold.
Yeah, and just unfortunate there because I'm not sure the hold was necessary because Carter was escaping out the other way, had lots of room to run, lots of green turf in front of him. So unfortunate there for the Bears.
But I like the play design because the play design is teams are going to see him come in the backfield and they're going to think, oh, it's quarterback run, it's quarterback run. And you know what? To keep him honest, you were running 4 flies.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he was obviously he was looking to let it fly, let it go deep, and that's good to keep the defense honest because, like you said, they're going to keep run. Little do they know, and a lot of these Fairview guys know this. He is a pitcher for the baseball team, so he does have an arm on him.
He's got an arm.
It is different throwing a football
than a baseball, but he's got an arm.
He sure does.
Carlin back in, second down now. And 19 to go. Ball back on the 47 inside. 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Low snap. Carlin gets it. It's going to be Wolf over the right side. Gets back close to midfield. Little over the 49. Going to bring up third down and 16-17.
Yeah, and that's why that penalty was so huge. You turned, second and short to now third and forever.
Right.
And that's a backbreaker when you've been on schedule, on time. And that's the thing with a run-oriented offense. You have to stay on time, have to stay on schedule. So now in an obvious passing situation, you might be able to sneak a run or a screen past them, but I think they're going to be ready for it this time after they saw run last time on a third and long situation.
Wolf in the backfield with Carlin. Carlin's going to roll to his right, looks to turn upfield, has time, throws over the middle, and they're going to say the timing was right by the defender. Folks on the far side of the field in the sun, they thought it was great defense. Folks in the shade thought it was a hair early, but it's going to be fourth down, 17 to go, right at 6 minutes. Going to bring in Jacob Uran to punt this one away. But I was impressed with the opening drive for the Golden Bears. It accomplished not everything they wanted, but they established the run, and they took 6 minutes off the clock. They kept the ball for half the first quarter.
Yeah, which is huge. Okay, this may not seem okay. You started the ball at the 20, got it up to your own 49. Okay, so you crossed midfield, but the penalty brought you back. Still big nonetheless.
Snap, Uran's kick, knuckleball, going to bounce and take a Fairview roll. Going to end up being a short punt. Going to be blown dead at about the 33-yard line. Jacob Uran has gotten some really bad bounces on punts.
I was going to say,
year.
I just want one of those to start rolling the other direction.
Yeah, exactly. And, as a punter, you can angle it. You can try to get the ball to turn over. You can do all sorts of stuff. But you don't control the ball once it hits the ground. It's an oblong ball, and it does what it wants. Starting empty for the Apaches. We'll see a lot of that tonight. Trips to the field side, 2 to the boundary side. Zedike by himself in the backfield. Now they're going to bring 4 to this side, and it's going to be a little pitch forward to Gavin Mead on the run. Little jet sweep action. Going to be good for a gain of about 8. Anthony Weber on the tackle for the Golden Bears. On defense, Carter, Spizak, Hogan, and Dominic across the middle. Wallace, Watson, Taylor, and Weber are your defensive backs. After this play, we'll finish it up. Rolling out into the flat, just out of the reach was Zedike, looking for his receiver, Jesse Kuhlman. At linebacker, we thought we were going to see Wolf, Schaefer, and Uran. Right now we're seeing Caden Ross, a freshman, Lucas Reed, a freshman, and Damian Wolf. So when we think about it now, out of our back 7, we have 4 freshmen and 2 sophomores.
Yep.
That's a big ask against a passing team. Run up the middle by Garza. He's going to get near midfield, first down for Fairview. He's their leading carrier on the season. Caden Ross, the freshman, on the tackle. Hurry up for Fairview. Pass out in the flat is complete. 1 missed tackle, but we get the second one as Damian Wolf gets out there. Gavin Mead on the reception. He has 16 catches on the season. And that's something else we're going to see a lot by this Fairview team. It's almost like they call 2 plays in the huddle and are ready to go. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Trips to the field side. Twins to the boundary. Zedike back to pass. Throws it out in the flat. Caught. Wrapped up. Brought down. Catch was made by Brody Williams. Anthony Weber, another tackle for the Golden Bears, another Fairview first down. And Fairview doing exactly opposite of what Bryan was. Bryan wants to eat the clock. Fairview wants to get going. 4:45 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Going to be a carry up the middle. Nowhere to go. Nice tackle that time on the play by Cade Spizak. That was Brett Grime on the tackle on the carry.
And that's what Fairview's going to do. They're going to sprinkle in that run just to keep you honest, and then try to hit you, keep hitting you with that passing game.
Loss of 1 on the play. Receivers tight this time. You got two backs in the backfield. Slot to the left, 1 to the right, and it's going to be a design quarterback run. This is their design run, and that is going to be Zedike over the right side down inside the 30 to about the 29. I think it's going to be just short of the first down. Mark it right at the 29. Going to make it 3rd down and 1. That is basically their version of student body right.
It sure is. And that's what it's great when you can use the quarterback as a running option like that, obviously as their leading rusher. Get all your blockers out in front. You don't have to, waste someone by handing the ball off to a running back, whatever. Let him run, get everyone in front of him.
3rd down, 1 to go. 3.5 to go here in the first quarter. No score on your main stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Run in motion, fakes the little jet sweep. Zedike's going to power forward for a first down to the 25. Zedike, the 5'10", 160-pound junior, came into tonight 52 for 85 for 693 yards on the season. 4 receivers to the field side, 1 receiver to the boundary. Zedike's going to roll to the field. Tries to turn his shoulders, pressure's coming, dumps it off in the flat. Nice little pitch and catch. Ball's going to be brought in at the 20-yard line. Pass complete to Mead. 2nd down, 5 to go. Fairview comes back from their little walk to the sideline to get their play. Garza beside Zedike. Look to see if there's any changes. You got tight to the left, 2 receivers split to the right. Zedike stands in the pocket, looks for the far corner of the end zone. Going to be waiting for the call. Touchdown. Wasn't sure if he stayed in bounds or didn't stay in bounds. Touchdown complete to Gavin Mead.
And just a really nice play there by Gavin Mead. Went up, got the ball, high pointed it, and came down with it for the touchdown.
And this is, there's not much you can do as a defensive back. You've got 5'7" Aiden Wallace against 6'1" Gavin Mead. You just do a jump ball.
Yep, and he jumped over top of him.
Landrick Vandermate in to try the extra point. The snap, the kick is up, and it looks like it is through the uprights, and it is good. Here, 2:22 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Fairview over your Golden Bears. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Discover top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. The only limit is your imagination. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. 7-0 Fairview after a change of possessions, and you look at the difference. Bryan was 0 for 3 throwing the ball. Fairview was 5 for 5 throwing the ball.
Didn't miss a pass, and again, 20-plus yard plays, big plays. Yes, Fairview kind of methodically moved the ball, then hit a big one over top, but that's still a big play.
It's still a big play.
You know, that's what you want to eliminate is those 20-plus yard plays. But Fairview's in manageable, again, manageable third downs on that drive, and they converted all of them, then hit that big play over the top to Meade for the touchdown.
Vandermeer's got it teed up at the 40, 2:22 to go here in the first quarter, 7-0 Fairview. This one end over end. Once again, hopefully, I think Anthony Weber just took a big sigh of relief as an old kick returner. You know, you let the ball go over your head thinking it's going to go to the end zone. It bounces at the 1, and then it finally trickles over the end zone.
That definitely took a Golden Bear bounce.
It did.
A nice sigh of relief.
It did, because the difference between a punt and a kickoff, for those of you out there who aren't aware, that's a live ball. Fairview if it breaks the plane of the goal line in high school, it's an automatic touchback. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to go get it. But if it doesn't, if it stays on the field of play, that is a live ball. Carlin taking the snap, going to look to pass, breaks down, looks over the middle. Pass is going to be incomplete. Low, the attempted pass was to Hudson Wheeler.
Yeah, the key for Bryan here on this drive, I think we're going to continue to see a steady dose of Damian Wolf, Cade Carlin, and Carter Dominic running the football here. We got to hit a few passes to keep them honest, keep those linebackers from flowing up, DBs from flowing up, and just all in run support tonight.
Second down, 10 to go. Carlin Wolf in the backfield. Dominic H back to the left. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It looks like Grind is coming, and he is. Damian cuts it back upfield out near the 25. I'm going to give him 3 on the play to the 23.
And again, Damian's kind of, I'm going to say, making a little bit something out of nothing there. You see a lot, saw a lot of Fairview defenders in the backfield. They're just kind of cut up right underneath them and able to get a positive gain.
They're going to give him a gain of 4 on the play, brings up 3rd and 6.
And again, these are not necessarily the positions you want to be in if you're the Bears. 3rd and medium, 3rd and long-ish. That's right in the in-between. You don't want to be in obvious passing situations where you don't have your whole playbook at your disposal.
And here's something, a wrinkle we have not seen yet. Weber comes out, Uran comes in. This is a 12 package. Bryan going with a tight end and an H-back. So basically 2 tight ends. And here comes Damian up the middle, and he's got a seam, he's got a crease, out over the 30 to the 35, not brought down to about the 38-yard line. There is something about seeing those 2 big tight ends out there, because that's a nightmare, a matchup nightmare for opponents.
For sure, and exactly there, go into that personnel, because if they're going to load the box, you got to have the extra blockers in. No sense in spreading everyone out wide if there's that many guys in the box. Get your guys in the box too, get a hat on a hat, and let Damian run wild.
So once again, the 12 package, Wolf cuts it this time, wrapped up by the ankle and brought down. Going to be a gain of about 1.
That's the thing you're going to continue to get with Damian Wolf, too. Always falling forward, making guys miss there in the backfield. You saw that a lot with Sammy last year. You made guys miss, always falling forward, and that's huge as a running back.
The big difference is Sam also had the breakaway speed that Damian doesn't have.
Right.
But, he's going to be falling forward and doing his thing. We got to stop and play. Damian's got to come out. I think he's got a chin strap problem. I'm going to have to bring somebody in for him. That's going to bring Aiden Wallace in off the bench.
I'm honestly not quite sure what they called there. I don't know if it was his
headband
sticking out. I've never seen that called in a high school football game. baseball, yeah, you get the white on the pitchers, throwing arms, stuff like that. I've seen that, but we're not playing baseball, playing football. I've never seen that with the headband.
If it was a necklace or something, I could see it, but not necessarily with the headband. So Brian, going to have to hurry up here. Only 3 on the play clock, 2, 1, and we're going to say we get it off. Dominic's going to go up the middle, and we're going to get.
I was going to say I don't think everyone was set there. Either delay a game or legal procedure. Bears weren't set when the ball was being snapped.
Got a procedure penalty.
And these are just already through the first quarter, got 20 penalty yards, and they've been big penalty yards. Big penalties, especially for an offense, again, that is predicated on staying on time, on schedule.
And truly, an offense through 2 weeks is truly looking for their identity.
Absolutely.
They're trying to figure out their identity right now. So Brian comes out now, trips to the far side of the field. Wheeler by himself down this way. Carlin, little throwback screen, caught by Wolf. Wolf out over the 40 to about the 41-42, which will bring us to the end of the first quarter. And that's going to make it, they're marking them at about the 42-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Golden Bears, 3rd and 8 for the Golden Bears. We'll take this break at the end of 1. Fairview 7, Bryan nothing.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we understand that family is at the heart of everything we do.
Being family-owned and family-focused is not just a slogan for us, it's a way of life. We walk alongside you during life's most challenging moments, providing a guiding hand and a shoulder to lean on.
With heartfelt care and attention to detail, we tailor each service to honor the life and the memories of your loved one. We treat you like family because your journey is our journey.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family-owned, family-focused.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Brian's got the ball, 3rd down, 7 to go. Scoreboard says 8, looks more like to me 7 here. Ball is at the 42-yard line. Got to go to the 49. I don't think I have to do big algebra. That's 7. Going to be Wolf coming this way, cuts it back up the middle, just brought down, going to be just short, going to bring up 4th and about 2. Yeah. Looking at scores from around the area, Liberty Center 21, Otsego nothing, Archbald 3, Tenora nothing, Columbus Grove 14, Patrick Henry nothing, Van Wert Salina 7-7, St. Mary's 7, Defiance nothing, Edgerton 7, Montpelier nothing, Ayersville, Bluffton no score, Hicksville, Eden no score, Eastwood, Wauseon no score, Lake Delta no score.
I said I like Brian going for this here. I know you're on your side of the field here, but roll the dice and try to get them to jump off sides here or power forward for a couple yards.
And Damien gets hit in the backfield, and he's not going to get there. Great read, great play by the Fairview defense. Other score from around the area, Evergreen 14 and Wauseon nothing. Going to be a gain of 1. He needed 2. Going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and just
I agree,
partner.
I agree, partner. You got to roll your dice there.
Yeah, I think just knowing your offense, you were getting 3, 4, 5 yards. You think you blocked that well enough that you can get those 3 yards. Damien's falling forward, and he did fall forward. It's not for enough. It's a great play there by Fairview, right to stifle him in the backfield, and then he did end up falling forward, but they met him right in the backfield and stopped him short of the line to gain.
1st down 10 inside Bryan territory for Fairview. They're going to start with quads to the far side of the field, to the near side of the field, which is the field side. 1 receiver to the boundary. Zedike 5 yards, 6 yards behind center. Takes a snap, is going to roll. Pressure comes. He steps up and goes inside the 45 to the 40, and that's going to come back no matter what he does. There is a big block in the back. I was getting ready to yell something, and I saw the flag come out. That was pretty blatant.
And right in front of the official, too, so an easy call there for the ref.
personal foul, blindside block, offense.
Come on, blind side. So there's a difference between a block in the back and a blind side.
Yep, and that's the one with the blind side block. They're trying to get those crack back blocks, again blind side blocks out of the game and keep kids from getting hurt.
And that's going to back them way up. And again, a spot foul, so it's going to make it first down and 18 for Fairview. 11:04 here in the second quarter. Fairview leading this one 7-0. You got your Rand now playing it, one defensive end, Dominic at the other. Here comes the pressure. Zedike escapes, nowhere to go. Spizak and Uran wrap him up, sack on the play. And that's what the Golden Bears need to do, is get pressure with 4. And they were able to do it that time and collapse the pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's huge to get pressure like that on Zedike. Good pass rush there from the Bears.
And one of the things Coach talked about in the coaches show is not only do you have to get pressure with 4, but you've got to maintain your rush lanes. You can't get pushed to one side, and the Bears did that time, bringing a little bit of pressure this time, throwing it downfield over the head of the intended receiver. Going to be incomplete, going to bring down third down and, I don't know, I'm going to say a zip code. We're not quite into area code territory yet, but 3rd and 21. Which is exactly, again, what the Golden Bear defense wants to do. You get them out of their system. You don't have many plays in the playbook designed for 21 yards.
Exactly, and this is where you just keep everything in front, play off. Don't get beat up over the top on a 3rd and 21
and
situation.
No pass interference penalty. Snap. Going to do a little trickeration. Quarterback hit as he throws, incomplete. The pass was attempted by Jesse Kuhlman on a little reverse pass. And again, a good job by the Bryan secondary. They didn't take the bait. They stayed with their men downfield.
Absolutely, that was excellent defense by the Bears. He might have had a step deep, but we stayed home in the back. Or I want to say in the offensive backfield, and we're able to affect that throw and not allow him to get that up over top.
And this is one of the things that only announcers and coaches think about. This is a stop in the second quarter. And that's a big thing for the Golden Bears. Low punt is going to bounce, and this one's going to take a Fairview bounce, because of course it will, inside the 25, where it'll be Bryan ball.
The Bryan City Schools Athletics Department would like to thank our student ticket sponsors. With their support, we are able
The Golden Bears taking over first down, 10 to go, 9:55 to go here in the second quarter on your main stop scoreboard. 7-0 Fairview. Main stops of Northwest Ohio open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Thursday, every Thursday. Special shout out to our broadcast partners, WBNO, WQCT. No one covers Williams County sports like 100.9 B-Rock. And follow the Bryan Golden Bears all season long on Q96.5. Listen on air or online at WBNO, WQCT.com. Carlin stays in the pocket, has a little bit of time, breaks down. He's going to come this way, going to try to get to the edge. He's going to turn it upfield, step out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. I'm going to give him a little bit more than that, 31.5. Gain of about 6 on the play. Now they're going to mark it right at the 31. Gain of 6. Second down, 4 to go. And again, staying with the program. You know, we'll take 2nd and 4, 3rd and 2 all night.
Absolutely. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised. It's second and medium here. Maybe try that pass again, because maybe they're expecting the run. Try to catch them with maybe a little pop pass over the middle here to Carter Dominic.
And instead they're going to come with Wolf right up the middle. He breaks through into the second level, and that's what Damian Wolf is going to give you most times, out to the 40-yard line. He's not going to give you those big 30-yard gains, but he got 9. And he's just always running downhill.
Yep, and that's the thing. Again, keeping the offense on schedule, keeping the chains moving. That's going to be continued. You know, that's what they need for the Bears need for success.
It's what you and I talked about with Hunter Watson returning kicks is, get the ball, go. He's not going to dance. Damian's not going to dance. He's not going to make 3 people miss in the backfield. If he makes you miss in the backfield, it's going to be a stiff arm or a shoulder. Trips to the boundary side. Carlin looking back. He's going to take off again. and he's going to slide down. Not going to give him much on that one because it's where you start your slide, where you start to give up. They're only going to give him about 2. Looked like 4 on with our cameras, but only about 2 from where he started the slide. 2nd down and 8. Wolf in the backfield behind Carlin. Dominic in at the H-back. 2 receivers to the field side, 1 to the boundary. It's going to be Wolf up the middle, out near the 50, 47, 48-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down, about 2 or 3.
And again, the position you want to be in if you're the Bears.
3rd and 2.
3rd and short. 3rd and short. You got the whole playbook. If you want to try a little pop pass, you want to try something short across the middle, you can. Just power forward with your run game.
I'm not sure after getting stopped on 4th down at the exact same spot last drive, if I may be the one who's just like, Damian, go get me 2 yards.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I feel a little more comfortable at 4th and 1 than 4th and 2.
Absolutely.
So go get me 2 yards. If you get me 1, we're going to come back with you again. Or we're going to come back with Dominic running from the quarterback spot. Here comes the snap, and it's going to be a read option. Here comes Carlin up the middle. Nice gain on the play. Good for a Bryan 1st down inside Fairview territory. Haven't seen that very often out of the Golden Bears this year. Pretty familiar to us last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great play there to keep the defense honest. You got to make the defense respect your legs as a quarterback. That's one way to do it right there. So good hard run there by Cade Carlin.
You know, and Carlin is one heck of an athlete. Starting center fielder on the Bryan baseball team. He's a heck of an athlete. Take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
But you look at this Bryan offense, just looking at your stats, there's about 18, 19 carries and not many through the air. Doing exactly what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
Going to roll this way, pressure off the backside. He's going to throw it downfield. Has a receiver, just over the outstretched hands of Kerr.
And I think that's one if you ask
Easton Kerr?
Kerr, I think I'd like to have that one back. Yep. You know what? Guess who also dropped one? I shouldn't say I'm not going to compare him to Jeremiah Smith. That would be an unfair comparison. But Jeremiah Smith dropped his first pass for the Buckeyes. So you know what? Little freshman jitters.
That's okay.
That's okay. You got to flush it, come back, and realize, you know what? I'm going to make the next one.
You saw it there on the Welling construction replay that he got in between. And it's one of the tough things as a receiver. Do I jump or do I run? And he was backpedaling. And, you know, one of the things they teach as a receiver, backpedaling gets you nowhere.
Yep.
He got caught kind of in between his route that time. 2nd down, 10 to go. But again, a nice play to keep the defense honest. And they're going to get us for another false start on the left side of that offensive line. All right, I don't want to pick on the officials tonight, but does anybody else think the referee sounds like Eeyore?
I was wondering what I thought.
It was. I'm just
what does that voice sound like to me? And
yeah,
then you just hit the nail on the head.
It is
Eeyore.
It is. You know, as you and I are up here with 2 faces made for radio, we got a lot of room to talk. But 2nd down, 15 to go for the Golden Bears. We got a little bit of an early start that time, and we're going to take it. Dominic down the field, going to be enough for a 1st down. Nice little pitch and catch that time. As an old sprinter, if you look at we didn't get a catch at the beginning of that play on the Welling construction replay. Nice pass and catch there to Carter Dominic. That would have been a 2-gun in track. He got a little bit of a false start left, just a smidge early that time.
Just a smidge, but you know what? He found a nice soft spot in that zone. They flooded that right side of that Fairview zone. Way to sneak that. I want to say that way to not really sneak it in there. Found the soft spot, got upfield for the 1st down.
Big 1st down for the Golden Bears. Here comes Damian Wolf coming to the right side. Has a crease. 40, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Golden Bears. I have waited a long time to give a call like that. 35-yard touchdown run by Damian Wolf. 36 yards officially. Nice. Gets a block, gets a crease, and he's gone. Off to the races. The Welling construction replay. Big touchdown for the Golden Bears. 7-6, 6:39 here to go in the 1st quarter. Wolf on to try the extra point. Dominic to snap it. Carlin to hold. the hold, the snap, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. That's going to make it 7-6 Fairview, 6:39 to go in the first half. Big answer from the Golden Bears.
Absolutely. So Fairview goes down and scores on their first possession, right? Bryan defense bows up, gets a stop, and then goes on a long touchdown drive. And you know what? As many big plays as we've, had against us the last couple weeks, we had a big play of our own theirs.
We had two
our
of them.
own theirs, yep.
We had two of them, the pass to Carter Dominic
right back
and
to
the
back.
touchdown run, back-to-back, big plays for the Golden Bears. And one of the things that we've talked about for 2 weeks, I know coaches talked about, if you were listening in or watching the broadcast from Van Wert, you could hear the coaches next to us because we were in the same room talking about this thing can't snowball.
Yep.
And you know what? This is a big deal, and it doesn't seem like that big of a deal because we're still down by one score, but we didn't let things snowball. A turnover on downs, giving Fairview a short field, didn't snowball into a 14-0 deficit where we're now playing from behind, out of our offense. Everybody gets tight because you start thinking, oh, man, here we go again.
Yep.
And everybody gets a little tight.
And that's huge on any team, but especially a young team that does. It always creeps in the back of your mind, okay, is this going to start happening again? You know what? Like you said, it came out, got to stop, go down again on a long, sustained touchdown where you just chewed the clock. Ran the football effectively. You stayed on schedule. Yes, you had a penalty in there, but you ran the ball effectively. You put in a couple passes to keep him honest and capped it off with the electric touchdown run there by Damian Wolf.
One of the things that we've talked about with Coach is that, with young players, so much is in your head. You've got so much going on, and you talked about it last week. The game feels so fast. End over end kick going to be taken at the 2. That's going to be Meade on the return, going back over the right-hand side, out over the 20-25, going to be met by a whole swarm of Bears, or a whole den of Bears, I guess, where they're going to take over 1st and 10 at the 25. But when you get into that so much of this game, and it's hard for the casual fan to understand how much of this game is mental.
Yep.
And your head runs so much of what you do. And for these young kids out there, being able to get a big sack, a big stop, not to go down and give up the big score and to come back and score, that's a big deal for these young men. Zedike, empty backfield, 3 down lineman. He's going to throw out into the flat. Pass is going to be caught. Carter Dominic's going to meet him immediately, drive him out of bounds. Caught by Kuhlman, gain of about 7 on the play. A little bit of a change of look for the Golden Bears, going to basically a 3-4. Not something we've seen a lot this year, but make Fairview think a little bit. 3 down linemen, you ran at one end. It's almost a 4 because Carter Dominic is basically playing a combination end linebacker. Run up the middle. Garza is going to be out over the 40 to about the 42. So Carter Dominic's playing a stand-up almost of a sugar end, part outside linebacker, part defensive end. So you never know if we're coming in a 4-3 package or a 3-4 package or if it's a nickel package.
Yep, absolutely.
Which is an amazing thing that a versatile athlete like Dominic gives you.
Mm-hmm.
Ball at the 41, 1st down 10, 5:40 to go here in the first half. 7-6 Fairview on your main stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Quads to this side, 1 receiver to the top. It's going to be the bubble screen. Caught, and a good play to tackle in space by the Golden Bears. Pass is complete by Ollinger. Anthony Weber on the stop for Bryan, gain of about 6. Ball's at the 47. 2nd down. Going to empty the backfield again. Quads to that side. They're going to go bubble to the other side. That one is going to be caught. Oh, they're going to say incomplete. Fairview caught a break. I thought he caught it on his knee.
They sure did. I say why. So I saw it skip, and we were right there to make the play too. And actually, it's a good job getting off the block there to be ready to make a tackle there in the backfield. It skipped, but they had numbers out there if we wouldn't have shed that block well out in the flat.
Trips to the far side, 2 to this side. Zedike throws a little slot pass. Going to be good for enough for a 1st down. Inside Bryan territory to the 46. Garza on the reception.
and just sat right there, soft spot in the zone. Nice little route there just to sit, show your numbers to the quarterback, and Zedek was able to put it right on him for the first down.
It's one of the things, if you don't get pressure on William Zedek, he's going to pick you apart and find soft spots in that zone, and that's exactly what he did. Zedek going to take off up the middle this time. Going to get a nice hole. Couple of missed tackles down inside the 30 to about the 28.
Yeah, and that's where his legs, you'll see him just pull this down here. Well blocked by Fairview, getting blocks on the second level. Makes a couple guys miss and is able to turn that into a gain of 18 and a big play there for the Apaches.
Ball now inside the 30 at the 29, first down 10, Fairview. Clock rolling, should be right around 4 minutes when the snap is made. High snap. Zedek's going to pull it down and go by himself. Tries to get to the outside, does get to the outside, runs into his own man, nowhere to go after that. Nice tackle that time by Gavin Mead. Anthony Weber's going to get credit for the tackle, but I got to think that was Gavin Mead on the tackle as much as it was Anthony Weber. Second down, 3 to go. And this is something we don't see very often. Fairview is willing to milk the clock here a little bit.
Yeah,
They've gone from a hurry to, let's just see what we can do here and not give Bryan another shot with the ball. Garza up the middle, and he is swarmed. Nowhere to go that time. Loss on the play.
And just great penetration there by the Bears defensive line. 2-3 guys in the backfield there to stymie that run.
Hogan was there. Logan Carter was there, met him first, and it almost looked there at the end, if you looked at the replay, that he tried to give the ball back to Zedek because he was nowhere to go. Big play by the Bryan defense, moves it back to 3rd and 7, empties the backfield, Zedek to pass. Mead catches it at the 20, turns around. And a nice play by the Bryan defense to stop him short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and 1 now. Big play for the Golden Bear defense.
Yeah,
this 4th and 2.
So yeah,
they're going to say he was stopped at the 21.
I know this is, we're late in the second quarter here. Still a lot of ball game left to play, but this is a big play for the Golden Bears here.
Let's see if Coach Rakes runs this clock down and calls timeout as he's walking over to talk to the side judge. I think that we're not going to go anywhere here for a timeout. And there it is. There's a timeout. We'll take one with them. 7-6 here. Fairview over Bryan. 2:04 left to go in the first half on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan Built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan Built.
At BryanSports.com.
Welcome back here. Coming out of the first time out of the first half. 2:04 to go here in the first half. Fairview leading Bryan 7-6. Big 4th down play for this young Bryan defense. 4th and 2. Turnover on downs here would be huge.
Yeah, I'll say this is a pivotal spot early in this ball game. I'm going to say early in the ball game, but late in the second quarter. A lot of ball game left to play, but a pivotal part. Pivotal. Gosh, I cannot talk. Jeez,
you and I both have a little bit. We got a little bit of tongue twisting going on tonight.
I got to slow down here. A pivotal spot in this ball game for the Golden Bears defense.
Garza in the backfield with Zedek. Trips to the far side. One receiver to the short side. And we got flags on the play, and it's going to go from 4th and 2 to 4th and 7.
I say, what a big penalty there. That is a costly penalty for the Apaches.
Coming out of a timeout, I don't think they were aware of the signal came.
And Coach Rakes is not happy about something over there on the Fairview sideline. I personally didn't see the movement, but apparently the ref did and backs him up.
Well, and it wasn't just one flag. There were a couple that came in, so I didn't see it either, but I was kind of more looking at the snap and what was going on. Going to empty the backfield now. Big play here, 4th and 7. Pressure comes up the middle. Zedike escapes. He's going to take off to the sideline, enough for a first down and more inside the 5, inside the 10. Going to be brought down at about the 4-yard line. Just good athletic run that time by Zedike.
Yeah, and that's where his legs are really, really dangerous. Bears good pressure up the middle here, lost contain on the outside, and he makes a couple guys miss for a big play for the Apaches.
First down, goal to go. Ball is going to be at the 3-yard line. 1:43 in this one. Short trips to the right side, tight twins to the left. 10 seconds still left on the play clock. Here comes the motion, and it's going to be that little pop pass. Nice play by Jacob Uran. Little pop pass there to Logan Ollinger. Almost looks like a volleyball tip that they give to the guy coming in motion.
I say well strung out there by the Golden Bears. Actually, I don't know if they gave him a 1-yard loss there.
1-yard loss on the play.
And this is where this young defense, okay, you just let up the big, play on third down. Can you bow up in a goal line situation and hold Fairview here?
And Fairview still in no hurry as we're inside 45 seconds, but they do have their 2 timeouts. Second down, goal to go, ball at the 4. It's going to be Zedike right up the middle, and he's going to be stopped short, I believe. He is stopped short inside the 1. Hunter Watson, the 5'7" freshman on the stop for the Golden Bears. Third and goal inside the 1. Clock rolling at 20 seconds. I'm wondering if Coach takes a minute here. Nope, they're going.
Still no hurry. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zedike here, or they're lining up in a jumbo package.
And he's stopped, and it's not Zedike. That was a direct snap to Logan Ollinger, and now they're going to take timeout with 5 seconds to go. They're going to say, I thought it was Ollinger. Do we have that on replay, Krista? On our Welling Construction replay? It's a snap. It is Ollinger.
And what great penetration there by the Bears to stuff him at the line and not let him get across the goal line. And now, I will say, excellent clock management there by the Apaches.
It was.
Rolling this down to 5 seconds, 1 play. You're not giving Bryan a chance at all here. And this is what Fairview was kind of looking for, to double up. This is where the Bears, okay, last time you had the big play situation, pivotal spot in the ball game. What do you do now? You just came up with a couple goal line stands. Can you get the 4th?
Can you get the 4th? That's it exactly. 4th down, 1 to go. The ball's right at the 1-yard line. Five seconds to go here in the first half, and what's been a really quick first half for a team that likes to throw the ball a lot. Going to be Zedike back in the backfield. Trips to one side, one receiver to the right. And now Bryan's going to call a timeout to talk about it as well.
Yeah, I like that timeout there from Coach Staten. See what they're coming out in, and then adjust defense accordingly. Now make Fairview think, okay, that little chess match. Chess match, okay. We saw what you came out in. Is Fairview going to come out with something different, maybe change the play? I fully expect this. If I'm the Bears, I'm expecting Zedike to get the football. He's their best athlete.
He's their best athlete.
They're going to let him go make a play. So I don't think it's going to change anything necessarily on the Fairview sideline. Maybe it does. And if they hit you with some trick play, I hate to say tip your cap to them.
Yep, exactly.
Take away their best player.
Take away it's one thing. It's that they used to say in baseball about Reggie Jackson. You know what? There are 8 guys over there batting for the Yankees that might beat us. We're not going to let him beat us.
Exactly.
I don't care if I have to walk you with the bases loaded. You're not going to beat us.
Absolutely.
So here we go. Big play right here. Garza in the backfield with Zedike, ball inside the 1-yard line. 5 seconds to go here in the first half. 4th down, goal to go. Last play of the half, barring a penalty. Zedike's going to go back to throw. Throws in the flat. It's going to be caught by Garza. And again, you know what? You got to tip the cap to him. We were all thinking Zedike run, and it's going to be a touchdown pass to Garza.
Yeah, did this sneak him right out of the backfield, ran right past, ran past Damian Wolf there. That was just nice little route play concept there from the Apaches. You also gave, what was smart, that they gave him kind of a run-pass option, let him drop back. If nothing's there, he can scramble too.
And in college, your coach is going to look and go, you had your eyes in the backfield. Well, yeah, I had my eyes in the backfield if I'm Damian Wolf because I'm trying to stop number 2.
Exactly.
And going to do a little swinging gate as they're going for 2. Back to pass, and it's going to be dropped. Had a chance to go for 2 and may have given the Golden Bears a big break there because now a touchdown and an extra point tie this one up. But that'll bring us to halftime. Halftime here from Golden Bear Stadium where Fairview leads Bryan 13-6. We're going to take this quick break. We'll come right back with our halftime show, stats, the Bryan Golden Bear Marching Band. You're watching Golden Bear football on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. So if you want to talk to your kids, you got to get it trending. I was just trying to get your attention.
Could I just ask you?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium when we are at the half of this opposite game of last year, the 62-47 game last year, 13-6 here at halftime. Let's look at scores around the area at halftime. Liberty Center 21, Otsego nothing. Tenora is now ahead of Archbold 7-3. Salina 21, Van Wert 7. Columbus Grove all over PH 21-0. Eastwood 21, Wauseon nothing. St. Mary's leading Defiant 7-0. Edgerton 14, Montpelier nothing. Eden 21, Hicksville nothing. Evergreen 17, Rossford 6. Delta 17, Lake 7. Bluffton 35, Ayersville nothing. And Ottawa Hills 13, Swanton nothing. And Hicksville, Eden 7, Hicksville nothing. Well, we did what we wanted. It's not quite the scoreboard we wanted, but we did what we wanted as far as
we sure
our
did.
Offense.
We ran the football effectively. We kept their offense off the field. We made their offense earn it when they did go score. We really kept the big plays at bay for the most part, and we have given ourselves a shot here heading into the second half. The big thing coming out of halftime, you got to have a lot of confidence in that locker room if you're the and say, okay, we're at 13-6. That's probably the best half of football collectively that we've played all year. You kept them in front of you. You made them earn everything they got. Now coming out of halftime, you have to get a stop.
You got to get a stop. You don't want to go down 2 scores.
Sitting at 13-6 is a lot different than
21-6 or
26,
yep.
Depending what happens. If they go for 2 again, something like that. But 2 scores down, like you said, 2 scores down. That's a lot different, especially when your offense has not been thus far in the year a big play offense. You've been methodical. You've had to run the ball effectively, stay on schedule. 2 scores feels a lot different to you. Even though there's a lot of time left in the second half, 2 scores feels a lot different than just the 1.
And again, it comes back to what the coaches have talked about, what you and I have talked about, what Chris and I talked about, what Coach and I have talked about in the coaches show. What Bryan needs to do is stop the snowball.
Yep.
And you know what? You give up a score going in at halftime and a 1 coming out of halftime, and suddenly that snowball starts to pick up momentum.
Yep.
And then
creeps back into your mind.
It does. And then it takes Bryan out of what they want to do offensively and forces us to go to the pass a little bit more than what is in our design. Let's take a look at our stats from halftime, partner.
Yeah, so Bryan's run the ball effectively. 20 attempts, 129 yards for a 6.5 average. Fairview on the flip side has also run the ball effectively, a few less attempts with 12 attempts for 70 yards with a 5.8 average. Bryan has not thrown the ball particularly well, 2 for 7 for 23 yards, and Fairview on the flip side, 11 for 14 for only 74 yards though.
So we've done what we wanted to do, and that's kept them in front of us.
Exactly. So we've made them earn it. So they're close to 50-50 split, pass run, and that's I think what the Bryan defense has wanted to do. So I think they've been successful at that. And time of possession is basically even as well. 12 minutes and change for the Bears, and 11 minutes and change for the Apaches. Again, total yards. basically
150
even
to
across
144.
even across the boards. Same thing with penalty yards, 25 penalty yards for each of the teams for the Bears and for the Apaches.
Individually, Damian had a really good first half.
He sure did. 16 attempts for 106 yards for Damian Wolf, and that's what we needed tonight was a steady dose of Damian Wolf, and Cade and Carter here and there to keep the defense honest, and that's what the Bears have done so far, and again, why they're in this ballgame.
You know, it has been the best half that Bryan has played all year, and there are going to be folks out there going to say, oh, but it's Fairview. No, this isn't the Fairview from 4 years ago.
Absolutely
This isn't the Fairview that didn't get a win in 2 years. This is a really good Fairview ball team, and if we're looking around the four-county area, short of your Liberty Center and your PH, and, you know, PH is getting spanked tonight by Columbus Grove, which isn't – now, CG's got a really good ball team.
Sure do.
But you don't expect PH to be down 3 scores to anybody at any time unless they're making a deep run in the playoff. If you're looking for teams to make a run in the playoff from this area, keep your eye on the Apaches.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I say this year, you know, maybe last year they might have surprised some people being younger and sneaking up on some teams. No secret this year.
No.
Fairview's a good ball club. They're not going to sneak up on teams like they did last year. So this is a good ball club, and Bryan's hanging around. And, you know, again, coming out of halftime, we keep this within 1 score. I like our chances to maybe capitalize on something late to maybe come out with a win.
And we talk about these measuring sticks. And, you know, measuring sticks to me are like emotional wins. You know, at the end of the day, the score on the scoreboard is what matters.
Yep.
You know, a psychological win, an emotional win is one thing, but when we're out there starting in our back 7, 4 freshmen and 2 sophomores, the 2 freshmen starting at linebacker getting starts for the first time at linebacker against an offense this diverse. For us to be winning the time of possession, the total yards, and only down 7 on the scoreboard.
Well, that's
you got to go into at the half and look at your freshmen and go, boys, that's exactly what we need out of you.
Well done. I mean, to hold this passing offense. Okay, they threw the ball 14 times. To hold them to 74 yards, under 100 yards in the first half. That's really impressive for the Bears. I've been really impressed. The Bears have gotten pressure with 3 and 4 down linemen at times, collapsing that pocket. Now Zedek has definitely made some nice plays with his legs, and that's his dangerous ability as a quarterback is he can pull it down and also run it. And so we got to keep him hemmed in the second half. But we've timed our blitzes well. We've gotten pressure when we needed to, and we've kept everything in front of us. And that's been big for the Bears here in this first half.
And when we look at it, you said he had 117 or no? How many yards did Zedek have passing?
74.
74 yards. He's averaging 350 yards a game. He's got almost 700 yards on the season. So, you know, what we're doing is being able to keep their receivers in front of us, and that is an amazingly good thing. So my hat's off to the defensive
100%.
game plan and to these young men who are out there executing. You know, have there been mistakes? Yes, there have been mistakes, and oh my gosh, I probably should send this to commercial because this is Country Roads and I'm a West Virginia boy and I want to start singing. But we'll keep going here for just a little bit. But really, it was, as a coaching staff, you've got to go in at halftime and go, boys, that was about as good of a half as it is the best half we've seen all
It
year.
is, but bar none. And again, I'll keep touching on that back end of the defense. They've kept everything in front. Roughly 6.5 yard passing average, per completion for the Apaches. That I'm sure that is far. I don't know what their season average is per attempt, but my goodness, you're only letting up 6 yards a pass. That is absolutely incredible. So hats off to that back end. Hats off to the line and the whole defense really stymieing this Fairview offense through 2 quarters.
Just did some quick math. Thank goodness for phones and their calculators. Zedek has been averaging 13.4 yards a completion.
So there we go, half their season average. That is absolutely huge for the Bears. Now they got to continue that momentum here in the second half again, coming out with a big stop. That's going to be big for the Bears in this second half.
So we will send it away to this halftime break, and I'm going to sing a little bit of Take Me Home Country Road.
I'll join in with you, partner.
Just let the whole press box moan in disgust at my singing. So halftime here, 13-6 Fairview. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
The Bryan Park Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Well, everybody got lucky here at Golden Bear Stadium. We would have emptied the stadium tonight if I had started to sing. And just when I took the headset off, Country Roads ended. So y'all were saved.
by me and you both. I'll say my wife got the singing ability, not me.
Mine too. It's definitely not on my part of the gene pool. You know, I look at the band kids out there, you know, in fifth grade where the junior high band teachers come down and give everybody a music aptitude test about playing in the band. All my friends were like, oh, you should try this instrument. You should try this instrument. The junior high band instructor, who's recruiting kids because they want to keep their job, looked at me and said, son, don't bother. Don't bother. So no music talent in me. I can barely play the radio and keep it on key. But we're going to turn it over to those now who do know their music instruments. The Marching Golden Bears, the Bryan High School Marching Band, under direction of Mr. Jason Luthi.
Superheroes have been a big part of the movies. It's a great line spoken by actor Michael Keaton. The Batman original motion picture theme used in the 1989 movie was written by Danny Elfman. Producers of the film were sure that he was the right composer. But after hearing his work, they liked it so much they released the soundtrack from the movie. To celebrate this superhero, here is the Bryan Marching Band's show opener, Batman. The hero featured in our next chart appeared in Action Comics #1, dated June 1938. Our hero could also be found in various forms of media. In 1978, his first big budget film debuted with Christopher Reeve and a soundtrack by John Williams. Joining the Bryan Marching Band tonight to perform from that 1978 film is the Bryan Middle School Band as we play the theme to Superman. Ozzy Osbourne first heard the guitar riff to this song, he said it sounded like a big iron bloke walking about, and Iron Bloke became its working title. While there has never been any connection between this song and the comic book character, this sci-fi laced song can be found in trailers, in credits, and video games. So here is the combined medal of the Bryan Marching Band and the Bryan Middle School Band to perform Black Sabbath's Iron Man. DC, Marvel. DC, Marvel. Batman, Superman, and Iron Man have all been part of tonight's halftime show. We close our show with the theme from the Saturday morning Spider-Man cartoon from the late 1960s. You can thank Academy Award winner Paul Francis Webster for the lyrics, and music composer Bob Harris for the theme, and Billy Vine and Lori Bauer, singers, for their talents. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider does. Well, here is the Bryan Marching Band and the Middle School Band doing what they do best, performing the theme to Spider-Man.
Wonderful job tonight by the Bryan High School Marching Band and the Middle School Band. We're going to take this last halftime break, and we'll be right back with second half action. 13-6 here, Fairview leading Bryan as we get ready to start the third quarter on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Here at the Williams Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
I'm Tom Turnbull of Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused, celebrating our 100th anniversary, 2022.
It's great working with family. The relationship we have with one another allows us to focus on your family and help guide you through the planning process.
We focus in on your family's needs to make sure that everything is done the way that you and your family want.
Right now, our family wants a Golden Bear victory.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Thanks to our sponsors, the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks, and
here at the Williams County Veteran Service
Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andres O'Neill and Lowe, the Danielle Van Atta Agency, Grill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and the Thiel Supply Center. We talked about it a little bit, partner, at halftime. It sounds really weird to say that the opening drive of the third game of the opening drive of the second half of the third game is the biggest defensive drive for this team all year.
It absolutely is. You're in this ball game, and we've done exactly what we wanted to in the first half. I mean, barring the fact that we're down 7 points, okay? But you limited Fairview to 3 possessions. They scored on 2 of those 3 possessions, okay? That's just how potent this Fairview offense is, okay? So now you're coming out of halftime to avoid going down 2 scores here in the third quarter, if I could speak right. This is a huge drive. You can't let them double you up, because tip your cap to Fairview. That was probably some of the best clock management that I've seen
in a high school football
game. Yeah. They started that drive with 6 minutes and change left in the second quarter, ran it all the way down to Zippo.
Yep.
Nada. Nothing left on the clock.
And scored on a surprise play on 4th down and goal.
And an excellent play call. So here's what Bears got to come out, bow up, and get a defensive stop here and get the ball back to their offense.
As Duran tees this one up, we'll look around the area. Liberty Center 21, Otsego nothing at the half. Tenora 14, Archbold 3. CG 21, Patrick Henry 7 at the half. Defiance has scored to make it 8-7 over St. Mary's at the half. 35-0 Edgerton Montpelier. Van Wert trailing Salina 21-14 at the half. Eastwood over Wauseon 35-0. Evergreen leading Rossford 24-6. Delta leading Lake 17-7. Eden over Hicksville 35-0. Bluffton 49, Ayersville nothing at the half. And Eden leading Hicksville. Oh, I'm sorry, I went to soccer scores. Never mind that one. Ball teed up. Golden Bears moving from left to right. Single deep back. It's going to be a short kick, taken at the 15 by Grimes. Out over the 20, 25, has a crease. He's got space, and he's going to take it to the house. Oh, he's not. Let him take it to the house. Nice penalty back at midfield. This one's going to come back.
And the Bears
caught a break.
Catch a break. That is a huge break and a big-time penalty there on the Apaches. It's going to bring this one back.
And you see a lot of Fairview guys with their hands on their helmets.
And I hate to say this, it might have been unnecessary. I mean, he was going right down the sideline, was basically virtually untouched down the sideline. Kind of an unnecessary hold. Didn't need to happen for him to score there. And again, the Bears catch a break, and now what do you do with it?
Exactly. You know, a hold in the middle of the field when he was cruising down the sideline with nobody to beat. We'll take it. We'll take the break. Brings up first down, 10 to go for the Apaches. Ball in their own territory now, back at the 43-yard line. Bryan back in that 3, kind of muddled 4 with Dominic standing up. This time Dominic's going to play linebacker. Little pass into the crease. Going to be caught. Short gain to Meade. Gain to about 5. And that's the thing that Dominic gets you. We talked about a little bit of his versatility on offense. We're going to get a roughing the passer penalty on the Golden Bears. Didn't see that when I was watching the flight of the ball. Breaking the announcer's number 1. And yep, we got him late.
We got
him
late.
Legitimate penalty. We got him late. The announcer's number 1 curse is don't follow the ball, and I followed the ball on that play. First down, 10 to go now inside Bryan territory at the 37-yard line. Empty backfield. 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Coaches moving their safeties over to the middle of the field, shifting to take in that quad group of receivers. And Zidek's going to take up the middle, breaks through 1 tackle, slips through another one, going to be inside the 30, inside the 25 to about the 23. And once again, Zidek showing what he can do with his legs.
Yeah, he's been really good with his legs tonight, keeping the defense honest and really moving the sticks with his legs.
Spizak got him early, but not enough to bring him down. And then he just found that crease. He makes people overrun with his ability to plant his foot.
He does, absolutely. He moves very, very well and is able to stop on a dime.
Again, quads to the far side of the field, 1 receiver to the near side. Meade's going to be here by himself. That bubble screen goes out into space. Nice play by the Golden Bear defense that time. Going to be a loss of about 1. We've handled the bubble really well tonight.
We have. We've come up and we've attacked it well, playing that strong side shoulder and shedding blocks and making plays there.
Anthony Weber's done a really good job out of that cornerback position. I don't know how many tackles he's got, but I've heard his name mentioned a lot. 3 to the far side, which is the near side right now. 2 to the boundary side. Zidek steps up, throws, finds the crease. Garza in the seam. Going to be down at about the 17-yard line. 3rd down. 5 to go. 3rd down, a long 4. Probably 4 down territory here, but this is a big play for the Golden Bears. Back to 4 down linemen. Trips to the far side. Zidek looks, double move, open in the end zone. And again, the announcer's curse. Weber bit on the first move. And didn't get the help over the top. Pass is complete to Brody Williams for the touchdown. And that's where we talk about Bryan using the run, play action. For them, bubble, double move.
Yep. And again, we've been playing it so well, and that's what they saw. They saw us come up, bite on it hard. What are they going to do? Fake it over top.
Vandermeer on. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 9:52 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Fairview now leads Bryan 20-6. I'm going to say that going for 2 at the end of the first half was helpful to us.
Oh, it sure was.
Because that leaves us into a 2-score game.
Absolutely.
And even we don't have to go for 2.
Anytime, yep. We just kick the PAT and make it, yep. Yeah, I was a little shocked by that decision, honestly.
I was too.
I at that point, we had already missed the PAT on our drive. So why? I hate to question that decision,
right.
But why kick
right.
it? Why not?
I like the aggressiveness.
Yep.
I am all about aggressiveness from coaches. I would much rather you go out and grab the win than to sit back and take the win. But I did look at that one and went, really?
And in a situation that I'm not sure, you don't want to chase points. I'm not sure chasing a point there.
Right.
What's that? I hate to say what's that gain you, but what does that really gain you in the long run?
And for me, especially if you're the favorite team, if you came into this game and you were 0-7, and you're playing an opponent that was 7-0, and you had a chance to kind of go up more than 2 scores at half, roll the dice.
Right. because I guess it would have put them up by 9. So I guess that technically 2 scores at that point. But to me, early in the ball game, chasing that point, doesn't really make it advantageous because now you're still up by 2 scores.
2 games in a row, and they're not going to do it this time. 2 games in a row, they've gone onside as their first kick of the second half. Kickoff is going to be taken at the 10. We've got a seam now. Here comes Watson out over the 45 to the 50 where he's going to be, and we're going to get a penalty away from the ball. No, they're not going to call it. There it comes from the back. Jacob Uran's going to get called for an unsportsmanlike penalty after the play.
And Hunter Watson's grabbing his leg over there on the Fairview sideline.
Personal foul. Receiving team.
So Watson's down. And that was after the play. 2 guys were tangled up. Jacob Uran threw him down. And not good seeing Hunter down on the sideline. That was a great kickoff return. He's had a really good season, the young freshman.
Yeah, he sure has.
So while they're taking a look at him, we're going to send it away for this break, and we'll be right back after this word from our sponsors of the Golden Bears Sports Network.
They said us, and I pointed to them.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Welcome back here. Hunter Watson getting helped up on the sideline. That is good to see. Went down a little awkwardly.
Yeah, good to see him up, but doesn't look like looks like he's going to need help to the sideline. Not able to put any pressure on that right leg whatsoever. He was kind of grabbing at that lower shin area, and that's never a good sign if it's that shin, ankle. Those are just those shin, ankles, knees, anything in the legs.
Anything in the legs, yeah.
It's just those
nagging
injuries.
If it gets below the knee, that's always been, an issue. And from a guy who's broken both his fib and his tib, it's just never fun.
Nope. And those tend to be, tibs and fibs seem to be long roads to recovery. So hoping that Hunter Watson is okay, even though he's not able to put a lot of pressure on that right leg right now.
Because young man's had a tremendous start to the season.
He sure has.
And we talked about it last week that I was so impressed, and then Coach brought up in the coach show. I was so impressed that he completely whiffed on a tackle, and then 3 plays later has the exact same tackle, breaks down, makes a stop, and then Coach talked about in the coach's show, down 35 points on the scoreboard, and he chases a guy all the way down to stop a nothing play at the 3-yard line.
And that's the kind of hustle
and that's the kind of hustle you want.
Absolutely.
So looking at Watson right now. The Golden Bears back on offense, and we're going to get movement by the Golden Bears on the right side of that line one more time.
Big ball foul. False start.
And I hate to say this, not exactly the start that you want to this third quarter. If you're the Bears, you let up the long touchdown drive,
and then 20
a
yards
couple
of
big
penalties.
plays and 20 yards of penalties before you even snap the football. And after a good return, and then you lose Hunter Watson, presumably, wish him a speedy recovery, but it doesn't look like he's coming back in this ball game at this point, the way they're tending to him on the sideline.
And
so
we're now 20 yards behind where the kickoff return went to, and playing behind the sticks. First down 15 for the Golden Bears. One receiver each way. And here comes Damian Wolf this way. He's got a crease. Closed down really quickly. Nice closing speed by Garza that time. We're going to give him a gain of only about 2-3 on the play.
Yeah, I hate to say Bears got a little lucky there, too. They ran that all the way about down to 1. Lucky to get everyone set and get that ball off before incurring a delay of game penalty, too.
Second down now, 12. So we'll give him a gain of 3 on the play. And this is one where you don't need 12. You need about 8 to keep it manageable.
6, 8, you're sitting yards, in a pretty good position.
Dominic in the H-back. Slot to the left, one receiver to the right. Wolf, and it's going to be a little razzle-dazzle, and here we go. We've got space. Carlin out in front. Here comes Weber. Gets first down yardage. Nice little reverse play that time by the Golden Bears.
Yeah, I like the trickery here from the Bears. Nice little reverse. Lots of open field to run for Weber there.
And it's always good to see your quarterback out leading blocks.
Oh, absolutely. That's something you just love as a player. See your quarterback lead blocking. That's always fun to see.
First down, Golden Bears. Ball at the 48-yard line. 8.5 to go here in the third quarter. Fairview leading this one 20-6 over the Golden Bears. Dominic moves to the left. Going to be a little quick pass to Weber, and he's got space inside the 40, down to the 37. A little quick screen of our own. Two big plays back-to-back by Anthony Weber. You got slot to the left, one receiver down here to the right. Tight end to the left, and Carlin's going to pull it down and go himself. He's going to be stacked up just inside the 35 to about the 34. Just inside the 35, we'll call it. Second down, 7 to go. Going to put the nose of the ball at the 34. Second down, 7 to go, 7.5 to go here in the third quarter. Weber slot left. Tight end to the right. Wolf goes up the middle. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped quickly that time. Austin Gates met him in the hole. Going to be third and a long 4, short 5. Good time, a good job of shedding his block that time by Gates. Third and 5, ball at the 32. Under 7 minutes to go here in the first. Weber still being looked at, or Watson still being looked at down on the Bryan bench. Carlin back to pass. Found a seam, complete, nice pitch and catch. I bet that's going to be Carter Dominic. It is Carter Dominic on the reception.
Honestly, just a nice find there by Cade Carlin, getting that up over 2-3 defenders, finding that spot in that zone, and a nice pass there to Carter Dominic.
That was one of those baseball plays. Find your cutoff man and hit him.
Absolutely.
Big first down for the Golden Bears as they're now moving the ball. Ball on the 22. Again, slot left. Dominic motions left. The snap. Wolf is going to come this way inside the 20 to about the 17. Damian do what Damian does.
Just continually falling forward.
4 or 5 yards at a time.
And again, you're on a sustained drive here, chewing clock. You got to punch this in the end zone if you're the Bears.
You do. You know, the first 2 games we got down into the red zone and weren't able to do anything with us, and it turned out to be turning points in the ball game. This is one, and we're going to get another motion penalty against the Bears.
And that's been a big thing for the Bears tonight.
False start.
7 penalties tonight for the Bears.
And 5 of those have been false starts, I think.
Yep, for 50 yards. That's not even the hidden yardage,
right?
You know, that goes into some of those penalties. You know, setting you behind the chains, and really getting your offense off schedule.
Second and just over 10 now. Ball back to the 22. Dominic coming in motion this way. The Apaches showed pressure and then backed out. It's going to be Wolf coming this way. He's going to be met at the 20, and he's going to drive forward to close to the 15-yard line. Going to mark him out at the 16.
Yeah, nice hard run there, and you know what? Bears got lucky. We flinched again.
We did.
The ref didn't catch it. We flinched again on the left guard there, but able to power forward for a nice 6-yard gain.
Nice 6-yard gain.
To make this a third and manageable situation.
Thanks to Welly Construction for our replays here tonight and all season long here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
And I really do think we're in
we're definitely four-down territory here. Got to be in four-down territory.
2 plays to get 5 yards here.
Dominic shifts to the right. Wolf's going to come to the right, trying to get around the corner. This time he's going to run out of yards, going to get to about the 15, I think. Coming to the short side of the field, couldn't find the crease.
Yeah, I tell you, good job by the Fairview defense. We'll see here. They just string this play out nicely, getting all their hats to the football and able to stop Damian Wolf for no or very little gain there.
There are times where it just really helps just to stretch the field out.
Yep. Make them run east to west instead of running north and south.
Which this is going to bring up a big fourth down play for the Golden Bears. Fourth down, 5 to go, ball at the 16-yard line.
And I think in this situation, I think you ideally want to be maybe in a 4th and 2 situation where you got your whole playbook. And I think you got to throw here. And it's got to be a big pass here for the Bears.
Dominic shifts to the right. Carlin waits for the snap. He's back to pass. And he's going to take off. And he's going to get dragged down. Going to be a nice play that time by Cash King. Jess wasn't able to escape, got out of the pocket, and Jess couldn't escape. And Cash King did what a defensive lineman should do, wrapped up the quarterback's right arm so he couldn't even flip it downfield.
Yeah, and that's the thing there. There was some green there. I think he saw the green, and that pocket closed quickly. Good job there by the Fairview defense to collapse the pocket and stop Carlin there on 4th down.
And here comes the switch with Watson still on the bench. Cade Carlin comes back in to play safety. He was only going one way tonight. Now back in, and, got to be honest, I think Carlin was leading the team in tackles for the first 2 weeks, so it's not a drop-off here. Here comes Zedike this way, design quarterback run, nowhere to go, wrapped up, taken out of bounds. Again, going to be Weber on the stop.
Number 2, Zedike. On the tackle, number 13, Weber.
Going to give him no gain on the play. Well done that time by the Golden Bears, doing the same thing that Fairview did to them, just stretching it out, pushing him to the sideline, no place to go. Pressure coming this time up the middle. Zedike gets flushed, and he's going to run into a whole host of Bears. Ball's on the field, and I think it's a Bryan ball. Turnover, Bryan football. That was Carter Dominic on the hit and the recovery.
And that's a big play there for the Bears. Way to get his hat on the football. That's one of those things. Right place, right time, got his hat on the football, knocked it loose. Bears pick it up and recover it.
And that play was not a design quarterback run. That was good pressure coming up the middle that time by Connor Hogan. Hogan flushed Zedike right into a whole host of Bears. Carter Dominic put a hat on the ball and then put his big arms around the ball. First down, Golden Bears on a first turnover of the night. Carlin fakes it to Wolf. Now he's going to take off and again runs into trouble and nowhere to go. And Cade Carlin's down, getting up slow. There he goes. Going to give him a loss of 3 on the play, 2 on the play. I think the yard marker's a little bit behind where the ball is. I see the ball in the 22. They've got him spotted at the 23 with the chains. Going to bring up 2nd down, 13. Clock running inside, 4:15 to go here in the third quarter on your main stops, the Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Main stops, open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget Thursdays, every Thursday. And here comes a whistle and false start against the Bears.
There has to be like 7 false start penalties tonight for the Bears.
Second down now at 18. Ball back to the 27.
Again, this is not the direction you want to be moving after a big play, big fumble. But in your opponent's territory, you got to capitalize on these.
Penalties have been big in the third quarter, not going in the Golden Bears' favor. This time by Carlin. He's got a man. Incomplete. Again, that little window closed really quick.
It sure did. And just to let him a little bit too far, might have had a chance if he had to get just a little bit more air underneath that to let him go up and make a play just a little bit out in front of him there.
I noticed that time they doubled Dominic.
Yep. And I think they're going to continue to do that.
And I think we're going to see a lot of that the rest of the season.
For sure.
He seems to be, he is to Cade Carlin what Travis Kelce is
to Patrick Mahomes.
You know what? He is that safety valve that he's going to be there. Blitz picked up really well that time. Pass is going to be over everybody, incomplete. Damian Wolf stayed in that time, picked up the blitz off the edge, gave Cade Carlin time.
Yeah, and that's a situation there. I was going to say, before that play, it's 3rd and 18. You got 2 plays to get this 18 yards. You didn't need to get all 18 in one play. Make it a 4th and 9, 4th and 6, type manageable situation. Now, not that this is kind of a prayer, but you got 4th and 18. This is a tough ask for your
quarterback.
For your offense. Let's see if the Bears can come up with a big play here.
Wolf in the backfield, trips to the field side. Dominic doubled to the boundary side, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to go to Dominic in double coverage. Going to be trying to throw it to his back shoulder, I think, but incomplete. Let's take a look at it here on the Welling Construction replay. Carlin's got him. Tried to go to his back shoulder. He was being covered well to the inside. Tried to go to his back shoulder. Fell just a little bit short. And I'm going to say Carter Dominic may have had a little help not being able to turn around.
Yeah, a little bit. I think they're both kind of, say chicken fighting in there.
Position.
You know what? I don't know anyone that either one really gained an advantage there. I think it was probably a good
no call. As a hometown fan, I want to see the penalty but if it's the other way and we're doing that with them in the end zone, I'm going to scream if the penalty's thrown. So I think you're right, partner. Good no call. Zedike back to bring his offense out. Finds a little crease slot again. Going to be Garza, I believe. Going to be Garza close to a first down. Going to be enough for a first down. They run that little sit in the seam hook really well.
Yeah, they sure do. And it just kind of about 5-6 yards, sits, flash numbers, and the ball's right on him. And that's just good pitch and catch there.
I remember coaching soccer and watching a team that they always kept an outlet at the same place on the field. You never knew who the outlet was, but they're always at the same place. So if you got in trouble, you knew where to send the ball. And that's kind of what they do for Zedike, is they just put somebody either on the right or the left seam and leave them right there. Ollinger got a flag on the play late as Ollinger gets about 4. Looks like Fairview's moving backwards. We'll wait for the slow call here.
Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike against the offense late in the play. Didn't see it happen. Let's take a look at it here. Ollinger goes up the middle. Going to be brought down. Don't see a flag come in yet. And the replay didn't show the end of it. So we get one moving the other way now. 2nd down and a long way to go. Ball's got to go to the 48, setting at the 37.
Yeah, we didn't see anything. He might have been taunting, which is
which is supposed to be a point of emphasis. They say that anything that looks like taunting is going to be called taunting. 3-man pressure. Bears dropping everybody, going deep over the middle. Ball's tipped and incomplete. Nice play that time by Cade Carlin back there.
And I hate to say Zedike kind of made the wrong read there. Threw the ball into double coverage. You'll see guys screaming down the sideline here for the Apaches. Runs an out and up and just missed him. He's wide open down the sideline. Big break there for the Bears.
And Carlin patrolling center field, which is something you see all spring for the Golden Bears. Brings up 3rd down and 21. Ball back at the 27. Inside, right at 2:33 now to go. Clock stopped here on the incomplete pass. Pressure coming from the Golden Bears. They bring 2 up the A-gap. Look and find Garza in the slot. He's not going to go anywhere, though. Going to be well short of a first down. Going to bring up 4th and 10. At 3rd and 21, you can kind of drop your linebackers and your defensive backs really deep. They got 10 of it back, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And we got 12 of it back. Going to be 4th down and 9, 10 to go. Normally we would see Watson back. This time I believe is that Carter Sickle back there. Is that a number 2 back there I see? Snap, step, the punt. Going to be taken as a fair catch. Oh, going to be Cade Carlin. Saw that a couple times last year with Jace back receiving punts.
Sure did. Taking the page out of that playbook.
It is. I couldn't see the number on the sleeve. The eyes are getting too old. And he wouldn't turn to let me see the number on the jersey. So first down, 10 to go for the Golden Bears. You know, and props to the defense after the first drive. They have really bowed up and done really well.
Oh, they sure have. Absolutely.
We need to push one in this time, and it's going to be Damian. He's got some space this time up the middle. Good for a first down. Going to be gain of 11 out to the 45.
Yeah, it's good, tough run. Lineman moving people off the ball there. Hat on a hat, and a good run there by Damian Wolf.
And that gives Damian just a ton of yardage on the night.
Up to 133
133 on the night.
And 6 yards per carry.
22 carries. He is being the bell cow this evening. You got slot left, slot right. And it's going to be a read option. Here comes Carlin up the middle. He's going to be submarine, going to be good for about 3 on the play.
And that was actually Carter Dominic in the Hulk smash
Was
package.
that Dominic in the Hulk?
It sure was. So they keep switching them in and out now.
Do.
So they're keeping us off balance
well,
up here.
and you know, the whole design of that is to keep the defense off balance. Is, you know, you can't make a sub if they break the huddle with the same 11 guys.
Yep.
Again, you got 2 receivers this way. Here comes Wolf, student body right, stiff arm, and he's going to be met, and here comes a foul late. I'm not sure what the penalty was.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either, but we'll find out.
Going to be against. They're pointing towards Fairview. Going to be looks like maybe a face mask. A personal foul face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Big 15 yards there.
If you can see us on replay here.
Coming this way. Here comes Wolf. Nice stiff arm. Yep.
Oh, he sure did.
Yep, sure did. Number 3 got him. Ollinger got him by the face mask. First down, Golden Bears. Ball at the 36, 41 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Slot left. Aiden Wallace by himself to the right. Wolf behind Carlin, Dominic in motion. And we're going to get a penalty, and I bet it's going to be a false start.
I think so, partner.
My guess is that Coach Staten is going to be a little hot tomorrow in the film room.
I think he might be. That might be 7 or 8 false start penalties. I think 7 of our –
and all on the line. I mean, it's
on
one
the
thing
line.
to see a receiver jump every now and then. It's one thing to see, look down the line and watch the ball.
And you don't think necessarily that 5 yards is that big of a deal?
It's a
huge
deal.
Huge
it's
deal.
a huge deal. When your offense is predicated on 4 or 5 yards at a time. I didn't worry about a 5-yard penalty last year because you had an offense that was a big play offense.
Yep.
This offense is not a big play offense. And so 5 yards is a big deal because here Damian's going to get most of it back, but instead of having, a 2nd and 4 now, we've got a 2nd and 11. As we come to the end of the third quarter, we'll take a break with them here as we come to the end of the third quarter. Your score, Fairview 20, Bryan 6 on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
And here comes the end of the relay, and we get the game started, and it's going to be Cartland rolling out this way. Pressure comes, has a man, overthrows him. Pass was intended for Hudson Wheeler.
Yeah, had him open on there along the sideline and just a little overshot him there for the incomplete pass.
And it's been one of the things that Bryan has seen all season long. There's not a lot of separation for receivers, and Cade Cartland has to be exactly precise.
Yep.
And that's a tough thing for a quarterback,
It sure
especially on the move, especially that time when
Yep.
you're rolling him to his weak side.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, that's one thing that's really underestimated. We talk about it all the time is throwing to your non-dominant side to get those shoulders turned and get that ball upfield is really tough.
Tight end, and this time it's going to be Wolf. He's going to get wrapped up and dropped, and it's going to be 4th down and about 11.
Yeah, and I think it's decision time here for the Bears. I think you got to go.
I think you got to go for it. I mean,
you don't
chances
really
are your
gain
punt's
much.
going to go in the end zone,
Yeah.
and you're going to gain 12 yards. I mean, I think this time you got to roll the dice and go for it here. Coach is not hesitating. Carlin coming in with the play. You know, one of the things we've talked about all season, though, is that what we want to see from this team, yes, we all want to see wins, but what we really want to see is improvement. And we've seen that step being made tonight by a lot of these young men. It seems like the game's slowing down for a lot of them. Pressure comes. Carlin has to step up. All sorts of pressure now. He's running for his life, and he's going to be dropped and sacked. Garza finally wraps him up and brings him down. They brought pressure that time off the edges, and Damian could pick up one, but couldn't pick up both of them. And then Cade was just running for his life. Going to bring first down for Fairview. Bryan back to Ford. Nope, back to 3 defensive linemen. And again, Carter Dominic playing kind of that muddle position. Carlin still back at safety. Here comes the bubble screen. Going to be to Meade, and he's not going to go anywhere. Nice play again. Heck of a play by Anthony Weber. If I've got to give a game ball tonight, I'm giving it to Weber. He made the one mistake where he took the bit on the second move for the one touchdown, but he has just made tackle after tackle in space tonight.
He sure has, and that's an excellent play there to read that screen and stop that in the backfield for a 3-yard loss. The Bears have really played those screens very, very well tonight.
And again, for folks to remember, Anthony Weber's a sophomore. When we're starting to look at next year and this growth for these freshmen to sophomores, think of the difference that he has made from last year to this year. Zedike back to pass, and the pocket collapses, and down he goes. Carter Sickle coming in and blitzing on that play and getting a sack.
And I tell you what, the Bryan defense has played their hearts out here in the second half, given the offense opportunity after opportunity, creating 3rd and long, 4th and long situations for Fairview.
How many times have we been 3rd and over 20 for the Apaches tonight?
A ton here in the second half.
Bringing 4 receivers to this side. Look for the double move. This is a formation. They like to do that double move. He rolls, looks, and he's going to take off and run up the middle, and he's got a seam. The 40, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. Flag coming in. It's going to come back. It's going to be a first down, but it's going to come back. I do believe there was a hold back at the 35-yard line. And one of the officials got just absolutely blindsided that time. He's up and moving okay. Going to be a hold against Fairview, so it's going to back him up. Now, here's my question. A hold this far downfield, it's not a spot foul. It goes back to the line of scrimmage. Am I right?
I think right. It's back to the line, and
I believe so.
Number 10.
I believe so. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 31, and this is where it.
Well,
now they're moving them from the spot.
So it still results in a first down.
Still results in a first down.
It didn't. I thought they changed that.
I did too.
That was not a spot foul anymore. But again, an unnecessary hold there by the Apaches.
But it's going to be first down and 10 Fairview. And now we're going to see Fairview do what they did in the first half, partner. They're going to milk this clock down to nothing with this 3-score lead. Up the middle, it's going to be Garza. Going to get about 3 or 4.
On the carry, number 15, Garza.
Big carry for Garza that time. Hogan on the stop. Ball at the 41, clock rolling. Going to be under 9 minutes when they have to take this snap, as there's still 25 seconds to go on the play clock.
Yeah, I expect a steady diet of Zedike and Garza.
It is going to be
run at this point. Maybe try to hit him with a pass, to catch the Bears defense napping, but it's going to be a steady dose of the run game here.
Maybe run that little shovel pass. And we're all wrong. You've got a man wide open.
Well,
a little throwback to Ollinger, touchdown Fairview. They rolled right and snuck him out the back, and nobody picked him up.
And there it is. Maybe a play earlier than I thought it was going to come. I figured they'd sneak a pass in there at some point, catching us thinking we're going to run. And there it was, and he was wide open for the touchdown.
Safety's bit to the roll. Brings up Vandermeer to try the extra point. He's 2 for 2 on the night. This is his third attempt as he went for 2 on the other touchdown. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 8:40 to go. 27-6 now. Fairview over the Golden Bears. It's one of those tough things, partner, that even when you get your offense on track, and this has been the best offensive game that the Bears have played all season long.
For sure.
They just can't punt it into the end zone.
Yep, and I think that's been the story is, 3 drives in the third quarter. 2 drives went into plus territory into the red zone and didn't capitalize on them. And one was off of the fumble, and one was on our first drive, response drive. And those are backbreakers against good teams.
Against a good team.
That I really feel like defensively, tip your cap to the Bears defense. They've really
played well.
They've really played well.
They've given up 2 big plays. The one double move play, and that one where we let a guy sneak out the backfield and go wide open down the sideline. But you got to give it to them against a really formidable offense. They've held up fairly well.
Oh, yeah. 255 yards of total offense, roundabout, and only 159 passing yards, and 41 of them just came on that last play. So just hold them just over 100 yards passing for the game, through 3.5 quarters. That's been really impressive, especially with how young our back end is.
And the tough thing for Bryan, another night where under 40% completion.
Yep.
30% completion isn't going to win many football games. Big boot. This one's going to be taken and fumbled. Wallace goes back and picks it up at his own goal line. Sometimes you can make things happen off a scramble drill. Not this time. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down at the 15.
On the return, number 3, Wallace.
And now, if you're the Bears, you're in full on, when I say catch up mode.
You got to throw.
You got to throw the football. There's no churn and burn. Keep running the ball. Now with 8:30 left in this ball game, you got to come out throwing the football.
And Fairview showed you at the end of the second half they can take 6.5 off the clock without blinking. Going to be motion coming this way, and it's going to be a handoff. Here comes Weber on the jet. Wrapped up or hit and knocked out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. Going to be a short gain. A lot of running for 4 yards. 3.5, 4 yards.
Yeah, probably running about 25 yards to
get,
get 4.
And a really nice read that time by Zedike, stepping up from his cornerback position, making the play, knocking Weber out of bounds. The good news, out of bounds stops the clock. 2nd and 6, 8:22 to go in the ball game. Carlin back to pass, has a man, just misses. Had Wheeler. It has seemed like all night those two have just not been on the same page. Wheeler's he's cut off routes, and Carlin thought he was going to go. He's continued routes, and Carlin thought he was going to stop. Just a little bit of miscommunication,
just
and
a touch, just a touch off. It's just that click, and that's that click that makes a difference. Between that ball being completed for a gain of 8 to 10 yards and it falling harmlessly to the turf.
Brings up 3rd down, 8 to go. The Bears break the huddle. Ball at their own 20. And even down 27-6. I can't see this being 4-down territory this deep in your own territory. Carlin back to pass. Has a man caught. And he's not going to get there. Going to make it 4th and 1. 4th and 1.5, 2. Wallace makes the catch. He's going to be ball's at the 23. They got to get to the 20, just over the 25. They're bringing Jacob Duran in. Now, I may think about a fake punt, but I'm definitely not going to just leave the offense on.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe see if you catch him napping. Might be worth the gamble, but yeah, with just under 8 minutes left to play, I might just punt the ball away.
I mean, you're really deep in your own territory to be giving them the ball. Snap, Duran takes a step, and he punts, and he gets a good one away. Going to be a fair catch called for and taken at about the 41-yard line. Let's say right at the 40. Be 1st down, Fairview. Leading this one 27-6, 7:17 to go. And this is one where you're not sure if Bryan's going to see the ball again.
Yeah, Fairview's able to milk this clock, like they were in the first half. We might not see the ball again tonight.
Carter Sickle coming into the game. I think he's going to take that Carter Dominic position, and Dominic's going to move inside to a true defensive end.
And this is where here, if I'm the Apaches, I think just you see a steady dose of run.
And there goes Garza up the middle. Not much, maybe 1.5, 2 yards. But they're not worried about 1.5 and 2 yards. They're worried about the clock ticking.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, the Bryan defense has done a good job of bottling up every other runner except for Mr. Zedike.
And here they go. You have 40 seconds on the play clock. You got 30 left. You can run this down under 6:15 before you have to snap it. Trips to this side, one receiver on his own, and Zedike's going to pass, and he's got him on a double move. Nice play by making that one up by Wallace. Going to be good for a 1st down. But double move, he was beat. And could have caught an offensive interference there. They didn't. Nice play by Aiden to catch up and stop that one from going anywhere further. But a 1st down for Fairview. And again, that's just a really tough ask for Aiden Wallace. 1-on-1, and you're giving up 5 inches. That's tough ask for a cornerback.
It sure is.
It's why in the NFL, big cornerbacks make big money. And there's a touchdown for Fairview as they find Ollinger wide open. And that one's going to put this one completely to bed. 33-6 now.
And that is 5 touchdown passes for William Zedike tonight.
And I'm just not sure what the defense was seeing as Ollinger just ran past 2 of us.
Yeah, I looked like four verts there. I had to go back and look at the replay, but it looked like just verticals right up the seam, wide open for the touchdown.
And again, this one may have been over with the last touchdown. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. It's going to make it 34-6. The problem with that is teams are getting tape. And they're getting tape and showing that we don't cover the back of our zone very well. And guys can get behind us. It's been the case all year long, has been the problem with this defense. I mean, there they go.
And he had his pick 1, 2, 3 guys up the seams, and it just seems like, you know, as well as we've played all night, keeping everything bottled up, you know, you just kind of wonder where was the breakdown there when you kept everything, you know, like I said, bottled up in front of you all night long. Was that just lack of mental focus, whatever the case may be, given the score situation. You know, you don't want to necessarily question those things because I know all the kids are playing their hearts out.
Right.
But that's something. What happened there?
Yep.
You know, because we've done it so well.
Right. We've done it all
long.
night long so well. You know, how does that happen? And how does it happen to us regularly? You know, it's been one of the frequent things. How do we get our head in the backfield and not see the guy running right by us on the seam? It's been a bugaboo all year, and it's coming back to bite us here late in this one. 34-6 now, Fairview. This is one of those where Bryan needs a next week score.
Yep.
We need to go down, get another touchdown, and it's one of those emotional victories, and we let the ball bounce on the kick. Going to be picked up by Weber, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped immediately.
And this is where at this point in the ball game, you're sub 6 minutes. You're down, 4 scores. Okay, run your offense. Like I said, a next week score.
Yep.
Okay, the score right now, and we'll touch on this in the post game. I don't think this score is necessarily indicative of how well the defense had played all night. And you got to tip your cap to Fairview. They've played well here down the stretch. They've really played well all night. But as the Bears, you got to keep your resolve and say, okay, we really have played well tonight. This has been, I'm going to say, the best game we've played so far this year. You gotta do something positive here on what could be one of your last drives of the night.
And here comes Damian Wolf, good for about 12, out over the 20 to the 25.
Because again, there's no such thing as moral victories,
No.
but there's definite positives to take away.
There are
from tonight if you're the Golden Bears.
And this is, you go back to your offense. You know, this isn't to play catch-up ball. This is where you go back to your offense, and again, you're building. You're building for next week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks down the road. You come back and you run your regular offense.
Absolutely.
Little pass out in the flat to Weber. Out over the 30, cuts it upfield, steps out of bounds around the 35. And again, we may have gotten away with one there because once again, all the linebackers for Fairview were pointing at the Bryan offensive line.
I'll tell you what, we flinched up front again.
We did.
We did. Another break there for the Bears.
Clock stopped 5:11 to go here in the ball game. Second down, 1 to go. Carlin back to pass, looks downfield, throws downfield, lofts it up. Going to be knocked away, incomplete. Pass intended for Weber.
Defensive pass interference.
Interference against Fairview. Going to be a first down for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, interestingly, I was getting ready to say that we played pretty good defense there to keep that
Knock
ball
the
from being
away.
intercepted.
I did. Going to be ball at the 49-yard line now. 1st and 10. Bryan, 5:01 to go here in the ball game. Fairview leading this one on your main stops at Northwest Ohio scoreboard, 34-6. 3-man pressure, dropping everybody back. Carlin going to roll, dump it, complete inside the 50 to about the 45, 44-yard line. Another reception by Dominic. Going to be a gain of 6 on the play, bring up 2nd down and 4. Carter Dominic going to come out. Going to bring Caden Ross into the ball game. Damian Wolf coming out as well. Going to be Ross at running back, I believe. Or we're going to empty the backfield. Nope, be Caden Ross at running back. It's going to be Ross up the middle. Going to make a jump cut. Gets about 1 on the play.
tackle, number 36, Paladino.
Cole Carlin's also coming to the game for Damien at tight end. Looks like we're getting ready to change quarterbacks as well. Rhett McGill taking a play-calling armband from Carter Dominic. Be nice to get a first down here to get the freshman some reps at quarterback. Carlin looking downfield. He has a little bit of green. He throws. Going to be knocked down incomplete.
And lucky that one wasn't picked off. That could have been going the other way.
Going to be 4th and 4 for the Golden Bears. One back in the backfield with Carlin. 3:23 to go here in the ball game. Carlin's going to roll this way, turn, finds a man, throws, incomplete.
Pass intended for number 25, Carlin.
The Carlin to Carlin connection did not hook up that time. Going to be a turnover and downs. First down for Fairview.
Play results in a turnover on downs.
And looking at Fairview emptying their bench. Going to be a lot of new names out there for us. Trying to figure out who's coming in and who's going out. A little bit of a circus over there on the Fairview sideline right now. May have to end up taking a timeout here. There's 10 seconds on the play clock, and they're not sure who's supposed to be in the ball game, and they're going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them, our last timeout before the end of this ball game. You're on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Fairview 34, Bryan 6.
At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we understand that family is at the heart of everything we do.
Being family-owned and family-focused is not just a slogan for us, it's a way of life. We walk alongside you during life's most challenging moments, providing a guiding hand and a shoulder to lean on.
With heartfelt care and attention to detail, we tailor each service to honor the life and the memories of your loved one. We treat you like family because your journey is our journey.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family-owned, family-focused.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. First down, 10 to go Fairview as they get their change sorted out.
Yeah, Fairview looking to empty the bench here, and same with the Bears, getting some of the second teamers, some of the young guys, some reps here late in this ball game.
Snap is high, pass out in the flat, going to be dropped. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Caden Kennedy.
Yeah, that's one. He just kind of got his eyes just looking upfield just a little bit, wanted to make a play, on a Friday night. Can't blame him. Got his feet, eyes, hands ahead of him a little bit. Can't blame the young kid.
Adam Roth, 6'3" quarterback in. It is one of the things you look at is their backup quarterback is Evan Grine, a 5'8" freshman. Rock is listed as a wide receiver and defensive back, but him playing quarterback here tonight. Again, a high snap. Going to be a run up the middle. Carry by Kellen Beals, number 6, a 5'7" freshman. Bring up 3rd and 6 on the play. Fairview in no hurry to get the play in or to get the play snapped. Just willing to take their time. This one's in the bag. Going to break their 3-game losing streak to the Golden Bears. Going to go to 2-1 on the season. Bryan's going to fall to 0-3. Snap. The ball's on the ground. Picked up. And he's going to try to get the first down. And there he goes. Going to be a first down and more inside the 40, inside the 35 where he's brought down.
And somehow,
Alex Ridgway on the tackle for the
yeah,
Golden Bears.
somehow turned a broken play into almost a 20-yard gain there. Good run there for Rock.
He just lowered his shoulder and kept on going. Big first down and 3 plays. Don't have to snap the ball until well under 2 minutes. Short of a touchdown or turnover, this one's going to go in the book just like this, 34-6. They get it snapped just in time. Rock's going to hand it up the middle. Another nice little run by the Apaches. Beals on the carry. Ridgway on the tackle again for the Golden Bears. Alex Ridgway, a 6'1", 190-pound sophomore. Second down, 4 to go. Clock now right at 1 minute to go here in this one.
Yeah, and Fairview's definitely content here. Just get
Run
the ball in under 10. Get the game clock or play clock. Excuse me, under 3, 4, 5 seconds and milk this one out.
It's been 2 weeks in a row. I was hoping we'd get to see a little bit of Rhett McGill, but not a chance we're going to see him here tonight. As all they have to do is kneel on it one more time, and this one's over. A flag on the play, on the kneel.
And call the delay game?
A motion on a victory formation. That's
a new one, partner.
That's a new one, partner.
I can't say I've ever seen that.
But it's the victory formation out of the shotgun. Oh, and so Rock's going to get that 20-yard gain and then lose all of his yards
by kneeling down,
taking the victory formation from the shotgun, and that's going to be it. They're going to let this one run out as Bryan finishes their out-of-conference season 0-3 with a big, tough ask next week as we go on the road to Delta, and Delta winning big again tonight. Handled this Fairview team pretty handily last week. It is one of those nights that once again Bryan plays really well for a big chunk of the game, and then things just kind of start to snowball as we get later.
Yeah, it's just kind of big play bugaboo. We held it in check for about three and a half quarters, and then two, three big plays. And again, this ball game, middle of the fourth quarter was 20-6. 20-6, and two late scores. To start the fourth quarter, in the middle of the fourth quarter, really sealed the ball game for the Apaches.
And 20-6 with us with the ball in the red zone.
Yep. With opportunities
to score.
And that's what you look back on. Again, those are the things young teams you're going to learn from. You will learn from this. You will look back on that and say, we're not going to do that again. And again, whether we touched on it a little bit last week, whether it's next game, 5 games from now, next season, at some point, again, the game slows down. You learn from those mistakes. You learn from those opportunities and say, you know what, when we're juniors and sophomores, juniors, seniors, and we're a year older, a year wiser, we make things happen differently, and we take those plays that kind of bounce our way, and we go capitalize on that.
And injuries are a part of the game. That's the reality of football. Injuries are part of the game. Not having Cody Schaefer tonight, you have to shake up your entire defense. And that injury happened yesterday in practice. So you've got your defense in. You've had your ones working all week, and suddenly now you've got 2 freshmen starting at linebacker because you've got injuries and you're having to move everybody around. That's an impact on a game.
And I'll tell you, they played admirably, though. They stepped right in.
Played really well.
I can't say it enough. I mean, really, the defense gave the offense opportunities, to come out and capitalize on some things. And unfortunately, the Bears didn't tonight. And then this one got away late. But really got to commend the defense for really slowing this Fairview attack down for a majority of the game, and then some big plays late again really sealed the deal for the Apaches.
A big loss late in the game here tonight for Bryan again was Coach just raved over him in the coach's show was Hunter Watson going down with that
For
injury.
sure.
He's on crutches. He's out with the team. Hopefully it's not anything that's too extreme. I always think it's good when you see a kid still on the sideline, strain or something like that. You're not looking at you have to get in the ambulance, go to the hospital, or do anything like that. So hopefully this is just one of those things. So we're going to take a break. We'll come right back with stats, give you scores from around the area, and wrap things up here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. Again, your final tonight, Fairview 34, Bryan 6. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Rooting on the Golden Bears is a tradition that brings us all together.
Just like the sports we love, another tradition has stood the test of time. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, since 1922, we've been part of the community, supporting you in the moments of celebration and loss.
Just like a team, we understand the value of traditions and the love that binds us together.
So whether it's cheering for a win or celebrating a life well lived, remember we are here for you.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Let's take a look at stats, partner. How did we look tonight on offense?
Yeah, so for the Golden Bears, 38 attempts rushing for 188 yards for a 4.9 average. 152 of those coming from Damian Wolf, having himself a night. I said we'd have a chance to win if Damian got that 20 to 30 carry range. We were there, and you know what? Again, the score got away from us, but that was the recipe for success, and we executed at least the run game fairly effectively tonight. Passing-wise, we were 7 for 20, 70 yards, for completion percentage of 35%, 10 yards per attempt per completion. On the Fairview side, I should say for 258 total yards of offense for the Bears. For the Apaches, 24 rushes for 129 yards, 21 of 26 passing, though, for 218 yards. Very efficient.
And 81% completion percentage.
1% completion percentage. Now, again, the Bears, did they keep him in check, keep everything in front? Yeah, for the most part, with the exception of a couple plays for only, 10 yards per completion. That's not bad. You're right on par with what we were for the night, but they had 5 throwing touchdowns. We had 0. So they had 347 yards of total offense. Penalties, big ones for Fairview, 85 yards of penalties and 60 for the Golden Bears.
But those Golden Bear penalties, 8? I think 8 of those penalties were illegal motion against the offense on the line at home.
Yep.
And those are tough penalties.
Yep. And again, when we talked about it, and we talked about it all broadcast, when your offense is predicated on staying on schedule, running the ball effectively, those 5-yard penalties can be drive killers. And that's what you saw all too often, especially I think it was on the drive that we got the penalty, or not the penalty, the fumble. It was we got a penalty and maybe one more penalty, and then we're sitting behind the sticks, and it's 1st and 15, 1st and 20, and then we're starting in the red zone, and then we're playing behind the sticks, and that's not what you want. That's you took momentum back and had an opportunity to come within one score. It was 20-6 at that point. Okay, you get it to 20-13. Again, the ball game feels a lot different.
It is that difficulty that this is not the Bryan offense from last year that's going to put up 500 yards a game.
No,
we're going to need to win games, 23-20, 24-17.
Yep.
When we get a chance at 20-6 to make it 20-13 or 20-14 if we go for 2. That's a very different ball game.
It sure is.
And we had the ball after a takeaway in the red zone. And, time after time this year, we just haven't been able to capitalize. And that seems to be the theme for the year. That and those big plays.
Big
that
plays,
have just come
especially
back to haunt us.
big plays late. Because Fairview did score. They scored. They scored on 6 of their 6 of 9, drives for the game. The one at the end of the game was, when I say the 2s in, and the end of the game stopped, and they weren't really trying to go much of anywhere. So for all intents and purposes, they scored on 75% of the drives that they had for the game. But I said at the beginning of the game, if we limited Fairview to 8 drives, we'd have a chance. Well, we had a chance, and our chances, we unfortunately just didn't make the most of them tonight. So an unfortunate outcome for the Bears, but again, I don't think the score is really indicative of how well the defense played, keeping everything in front, and there's definite positives, both offensively and defensively, to take away from this game, even though the scoreboard doesn't show it.
Let's look at scores from around the area. Archibald leading Tenora now 15-14. Liberty Center over Otsego 37-7. That game has gone final. Salina leading Van Wert 42-14. Delta, our opponent for next week, leading Lake 24-14. Defiance over St. Mary's 14-10. That game in the fourth quarter. Columbus Grove 27, Patrick Henry 13. That game's gone final. Evergreen beat Rossford 36-6. Wauseon loses again, blown out by Eastwood 48-7. I think that we knew from watching what we graduated that Bryan would have a down year. Yeah. I was not expecting Wauseon to be where they're at, and that's a tough thing. Edgerton beat Montpelier 49-6. Bluffton beat Ayersville 63-7. Those are scores from around the area. Those were our stats. We're going to take one last break, and we'll be right back here to wrap it up on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. The only limit is your imagination. Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Let's bring this thing to a close here from Golden Bear Stadium tonight. Thanks to our sponsors, the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andres O'Neill and Lowe, the Danielle Van Atta Agency, the Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and the Thiel Supply Center. Kristen Bruner, our director here tonight, cameras Samantha Ryan, John Tripaldi, and Taylor Peltz. Nathan Keel and TK, always the efficient at the Bryan Athletic Department. Thank you for all you do to make us feel comfortable and welcome up here. Matt Neff and Stephanie Ponzak from the Golden Bear Photography. At WQCT, Rick Armentrout making sure we made things happen tonight. And our executive producer and video board master, Chris Malenga, who will be my partner next week as we go on the road to Delta. Friday the 13th at Delta. We'll be on the air probably about 6:40. Bringing you action as Bryan opens their NWOAL season. This broadcast is produced by the Golden Bear Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any duplication or other use of this broadcast, including descriptions or accounts of the game, without the express written consent of Bryan City Schools, is prohibited. One final time for all of us here at the Golden Bear Sports Network with Derek Hug. I've been Dave Brobston as Bryan falls to 0-3 on the season. You're on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Good night. Drive safe. We'll see you next week.